welcome to the Sewing Quarter. I'm Natasha McCarthy. You've got me for the next 4 hours, and coming up for you we have, let's take a look. Any moment now. There we are. 8 a.m. You name it, we've got it. Oh no, so it's Saturday. Oh, forget that. Don't look at that. Basically, we've got Fat Quarter Fun for you at 8 o'clock, and then at 9 o'clock we've got, yeah, your foundation paper piecing. Just got to move the cameraman out of the way so I can see. At 10 o'clock, we've got beautiful fabric baskets. And at 11 o'clock, we've got your intermediate paper piecing. But not English paper piecing. This is foundation paper piecing, which is different, I've been learning this morning. So lots coming up for you today. Oh, here we go. Let's have another go at this. There we go. There we are.
Ta-da!
It's like we'd, you know, skip back in time. But here we go. Coming up today, that's what we've got. Fat Quarter Fun, foundation paper piecing, fabulous fabric baskets, and your intermediate foundation paper piecing. That's a bit of a mouthful, but it's lots of fun. So join us this morning for something a little different. Now, let's have a look at fat quarters. Now, of course, fat quarters are cut from a metre of fabric. So if you can imagine selvage to selvage, a metre length, and then cut into quarters, hence why it's called a fat quarter. Very, very useful size indeed. This is what a fat quarter looks like cut. And you're getting all sorts of different bundles. This is our Dashwood bundle. So in this, we've got 8 different fat quarters for you from Dashwood. Dashwood have cut these exclusively for us. Very nice of them indeed. And we've got 8 different designs for you in the bundle. Do you want to take a look at them as we're here? Let's take a look. Because we're going to be using these in a fat quarter challenge with Jenniffer Taylor, who's here today. So these, really beautiful. This is a design selection that was inspired by travels around New Zealand, I believe. And the designer came across some antique books and used the papers to sort of make collages, and then these were made into the fabric prints that you see today. So a little bit of history on that, which is just really rather lovely. So you can see the print in here. You can see where that has kind of come from. Even the little print in, can we see? Oh, we go. In there. You can see there's like text in there. So very pretty. Lots of lovely colourways in here. You've got your navies, you've got your light blues, you've got your peaches. You've got all sorts to play with. And then you've got a lovely spot there. And then Juji stripes, I'm going to call that. I'm sure it has a different name, but there we go. $19.95 for 8 of your fat quarter paper meadow range from Dashwood Studios. Gorgeous. So that is one of them. Now, we've got all sorts of different fat quarter bundles to suit every pocket today. Shall we have a look at these next? These are the Roses and Dots collection. Now, these ones are vibrant and pretty. You've got lots of different colours that you can pick from in here, whether you're going for a deep pink, raspberry pink, or whether you're going for that lighter pink in there. You've also got a fresh lemon in there, and beautiful rose designs. So then you've got your pink version. And this is your Roses and Dots. And then you've got a deeper blue in there. And so this is $10.95. So all sorts of different shades in here. Wow, what colour are we calling that? It's like a purpley mushroom colour.
Yeah, it's like a light aubergine almost, isn't it?
It's
but not
unusual, and I like it.
Nice.
And then, whoa, look at that. That's a lovely rich colour there. So all of these, and then your cream on there. So 6 of these for $10.95. NIGQ 91. Bargain. Absolute bargain. Let's go and see. I'm taking these with me, but secret. I'm also going to take these with me out of that wall hanging there. Taking all sorts with me.
Taking everything. Morning.
That's because I want the lot.
You do want the lot.
I want the lot.
You had a little argument with the little producer Paul about that one, didn't you? If I remember rightly, he's like, I want it now.
He won't let me
he won't let you have it. He says no. The customers come first. And he's
love
right.
them, but we've only got 5 in stock. I know.
Quick then.
I know. We've got very, very limited. But look, this is the one with the hedgehog.
So cute.
This is, again, Dashwood, so 100% cotton. This is the one with the hedgehog. And then you've got your butterflies.
That's
This is
nice.
the one with the hair in.
Oh,
I love this collection.
What's this one called? Is it like woodland something?
Or nature trails or something like that.
Nature
You've got a bee in there
nice.
as well. Yeah, so we've only got a few of these. And so I wasn't allowed to buy one beforehand. So if you want, that's 30... Oh, no, it's not. That's the book. Oh.
Move on.
We'll have a look at... Oh, I'm getting it all the wrong way around this morning. Okay, we're going to have a look at the book.
Okay.
This is your nature trail. Let me give you the details for this. $14.95 for your nature trail, but we've only got a few of these.
Yes.
So if you
grab
want
them while you can.
grab them quickly. That is your hedgehog, your butterflies, your hares. Lovely. You've got your leaf prints. You've got your bumblebee.
Oh.
And you've got your sort of geometric-y leafy one. And then you've got just your pretty flowers in there. So if you want that, $14.95, like I said, only a handful of those. MSAD 70, and I'm not going to mention them again, and hopefully you might leave one for me.
Or just somebody buy it for Natasha. Just buy it for Natasha.
That'd be even better. Now, Mrs.
Hello.
We gave you 50 Fat Quarter makes.
50 Crap One is great. It's a great little book.
Everyone loves a Fat Quarter.
Everyone loves a Fat Quarter. And a lot of people have a load of Fat Quarters that do nothing with. And this is the book.
They come in ribbon. They look pretty. Why would we use them?
Don't touch them.
But now we're going to.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to bust open those Fat Quarters.
And this book gives you the inspiration to do that.
Now, what have you already made?
So, because I was looking through the book and there was quite a few there's lots and lots of projects in there, everything from little organisers through to toys, through to little clothes as well. There's so much in there. But I came across the little organisers, so I thought I'd like to cover my little diary. So this is my fabric diary. And I just don't... You get really boring books, and then sometimes the books are so pretty you don't want to use them. So I like to get boring books and then cover them in fabric. Hence this little one here.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you get to use it again.
Can I open?
Yeah, of course you can.
Just being, I won't
No,
display
it's fine.
your. So this is with your Dashwood fabric. I've got it the right way around. So yeah, did you go to a school where you had to cover your books?
Yes.
First day of term, that was the homework. You had to cover your books.
Everyone would raid the local DIY store with just scraps of little...
or it would be sticky back plastic. But actually, if I'd have known, I'd have done it in fabric.
I would have done that.
Yeah. So this comes out of the 50 Fat Quarter makes. We're going to take a look at that because what we're going to do this hour... Sorry about this. We're going to flick through the book. We're going to find something that we absolutely love. We've given you Fat Quarters and we're going to challenge you to make it. So this could be you at home.
I'm ready.
You've got an afternoon.
I'm ready.
And you want to make something.
Warming up.
Grab yourself the book. You limber up.
Warming up.
I'm going to flick through here. We're going to see some good stretching. I want a lunge, please.
And then, okay, hold on.
Come on, you've been doing your yoga.
I have been doing my yoga. There you go.
Good girl. Yeah. So while Jennifer lunges and stretches and generally mentally prepares herself, this is our 50 Fat Quarter makes in here. So let's see what we've got. Who's this by?
Is it Amy?
Well,
Amy
it's
Verso.
edited by.
Oh.
So, a funky mug rug. No, we've done mug rugs.
We've
we don't
done
want to do
mug-
another
no,
mug
let's
rug.
move on.
What have we got here? Chic sunglasses case. I think we had some yesterday.
Oh no, it went a bit dark today.
Yeah, it was a degree when I left the house as well. I had to scrape ice off, so that's no good. What have we got? Just for you gift bag. Oh, nice. Do you have any gifts?
Well, this is what I really like about this book. If you're struggling, if you want something handmade for a gift, but you're struggling for ideas, this is a great one because there's so many nice little projects in there.
Charming coin purse. My son's got his first little cash register. We've got plastic coins everywhere.
Oh, nice.
In fact,
So that's
he went
the
to
book.
sleep with them in his pocket the other
Oh.
night. Oh, yeah, great. A Dapper Dog bandana.
So that's the book notebook.
It's this one.
Oh, sorry.
The Dapper Dog bandana. I could see Renton, your dog, in a bandana.
He could. He has a
could
ponchon
rock
for
that, couldn't he?
He could rock that.
Yes.
That is cute.
And this is what you did.
Yeah, that's what I did. So
Lovely.
I just didn't put the hexes on.
That's all right. That's all right. Oh, hello. What's this? A girly twirly skirt out of Fat Quarters.
Out of Fat Quarters.
You can dressmake out of Fat Quarters.
You
I
can.
didn't think
Apparently
that was
so.
able.
You need just 2 Fat Quarters for that.
Wow.
It's good, isn't it?
This is really good. There's a cat. Curious cat door stopper. All in here. 50 different designs. Silhouette pets cushion. I like this. 50 different projects. You've got bibs. You've got clutch purse. Very well put together. Very well thought out. There's a project for everyone.
That's really nice.
Oh,
that's super cute.
Pretty, isn't it?
It's a little crochet hook holder.
So this
really
is
nice.
all about your fat quarters, all the things that you're going to do with your fat quarters, all in here, all designed really beautifully and simply. I like this. This is good, isn't it? Has this got oh look, oh that's a nice pinny. I like that. You see, I wouldn't have done a pinny out of fat quarters.
No,
because
this
I
is what I'm
thought I had
saying.
enough.
I mean, being a dressmaker, I always think about the yardage, you know what I mean? I want a metre of this, 2 metres of that, but it's amazing what you can get out of a fat quarter pack.
I like a striking pocket organiser. That's the one for you, isn't it? Look at that with all your pockets.
I love that.
But I'm not going to let you do pockets today. I'm going to be mean. Oh, look at that.
That's so cute.
That's really pretty too. The patchwork. There's so much in here.
There is a lot in there. I told you there was a lot in there. And something for everybody.
Scarf. I like this.
Something for everybody.
It is. So this book here, $13.95 for 50 projects. What does that work out at per project, Producer Paul? Get that old calculator out. What does that work out per project? Divided by 50, yeah. $13.95 divided by 50.
It's
27 pence per project.
That's really good.
And then just add in your fat quarters. You're good to go. Right. I'm going to choose.
Okay.
I'm going to choose this one, which we haven't even looked at. This is your tea party pillowcase dress.
Okay.
Out of fat quarters. I know that you love a dress.
I do love a little dress.
I'm going to give you the Dashwood fabric.
Okay.
It's out. It's on the desk,
I'm on
ready
the
to go.
table.
This is what we're making. So if you've got a little one in your life, be it a daughter, a granddaughter, whatever it is, she is.
I love that.
Could be for a teddy bear.
It's anything.
So could be.
Could be.
Then here we go. WNSP03 gets you this book. It's by Jo Avery and Elizabeth Betts. It is edited by Enverso. Yeah. And you've got 50 makes, 20-something pence per make. All you need is the fat quarters. Let's look at the fat quarters whilst I'll let you have a look at that while we look at the Dashwood fat quarters.
You carry on
This is how it comes to you. Super pretty. And you're getting 8 fat quarters in here, which we like. 4. Nice. Shall I go and grab the one that's actually open so that so we can actually have a look? I just like the way they... You see, this is the trouble. Because they come so pretty like that, so many people don't actually want to open them out.
Well, this is the thing. There's so much fun to be had.
Yes. I'm going to go and grab it.
Cool, I'm going to get the iron out while you're doing that.
Oh, gosh, ironing already.
I need to prepare my fabric.
Or so in.
Wow, you do like to put a challenge on me.
I'm going to give you your fabric and I'm going to waft this around all over the place. Do you want all of that to...
Yes, give it to me. Give it to me.
Oh, hello, Gwendolyn. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, Gwendolyn, give us a call, my love. Just give us a call. 0800 112 4433. As far as we can see, our website is absolutely fine. So just give us a call and customer service will sort it out. It's completely free to call. 0800 112 4433. So, Gwendolyn, get dialing, my love. Here we go. This is what you'll get now. We've sewn these together because it's easier for us. But this is your Dashwood range, 1995 for these. So, hang on.
Ooh.
Producer Paul, get that calculator out again, please. We get 8 of these, so that's £2 what per fat quarter? £2.49 for a designer fat quarter. Hello. I like that. So again, you can see this is your paper meadow range. You can see the paper kind of design behind it. The idea behind it, and again you've got the light blues, you've got the striking navies in there, you've even got a bit of mustard and a little bit of pink in there. So you've got all sorts of colours that you can pick out and highlight and generally play with. Absolutely delightful. Oh, and then this is you. If I think of anything, Jenniffer Taylor, it's got to be mustardy reds.
The moutarde.
Oh yeah, no, look, you've picked that one out. I'm glad you've got that one because I know that you'll absolutely love that. A little bit retro. Actually,
it is very retro, yeah.
We like it a lot.
I do like that.
And I just love these bold prints in here. It's just a bit fun, a little bit different. And then you see, you can go and calm it down with a spot.
Calming down. Fabric doesn't need calming down, Natasha. It's about having fun.
You can rev it up with some spots. But then you see this one. I love that.
I like that one.
It's so different, isn't it?
It's very cosmopolitan-esque. It reminds me of trains. Yeah. Do you like that word?
I just think,
especially at this time in the morning, that was pretty good for me, wasn't it? No, but it reminds me of trains.
Oh, you know, I can see that. Dashing away.
Dashing away.
Dashwood. Jennifer.
Yes.
Ready, steady, so.
Oh, okay.
Is all I have to say
I'm not cut out yet.
Oh, okay. Oh, you've got to do cut.
I've got to do
we'll swap again.
So
you can get your Dashwood fabric. There we go. I'll pop that up there for you. So you're going to get all 8 fat quarters. £2 something a fat quarter. Bargain. Hang on, that suddenly makes a very affordable dress. How many fat quarters are we using in this?
So because it's sort of patched, we're using 3 fat quarters, and I think we'll have left over as well.
So around £7 for a dress. That's good.
Probably a bit less than that because you're not using...
You're not using the whole fat quarter?
No.
Okay, so let's round it up to £7 and get some ribbon. We've got ribbon as well, haven't we?
We have got ribbon.
Yeah, we've got all sorts on the show. Lots to show you today. We're going to have a look at some more fat quarter... Oh, hang on. I've got some secreted around the studio in various places. Shall I take a look at the Sweetheart bundle?
8.5.
So, this is your Dashwood that we're using, but we've got, like I say, we've got designs for all tastes, all pockets, all styles for you this morning.
We've got everything for you today.
Well, you know, we try and make everybody happy. So this is your Tilda Fat Quarter bundle here. This is your Sweetheart range. So, we're looking at a premium design bundle here. Absolutely. Well, you know I love a bit of Tilda. Oh, yeah. It's that ditzy print.
It's cute,
it's
isn't
the way that it's printed. The quality of the cotton makes it so beautiful to use. The fact that when you put Tilda designs, you can... Well, OK, for example, I made a Tilda patchwork cushion the other day out of, I think I had 3 or 4 different Tilda design ranges in there. And they go! It works an absolute treat. You've got your large prints, you've got your small ditsies, you've got your different colourways. Look at, oh, this is the woodland one. This is the one with the deer. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then this one's like a mandala, more ditsies in there, and it comes beautifully packaged. So if you're after that, the red in here is a really friendly red. You know, some are orangey reds. This isn't. This is a friendly, rich red in here. But you've also got the blues, the light blues, the darker blues. You've got light pinks. You've got also a raspberry red in there. Really gorgeous. $37.95 for 9 of your Tilda fat quarters. So if you are a Tilda fan and you haven't got this in your stash or you've used up your stash, top up. MTGQ04. Do you want to have a look at another Tilda one? Or, Jennifer, let's catch up on what you're doing over here, because I see you chopping away.
Yeah, so I've chosen the 2 main fabrics for my dress, and I'm going to trim it off with the mustard. That's my favourite one. I'm trimming it off with the mustard.
I'm surprised you're only trimming off with that. I'm surprised that it wasn't all about the mustard.
It's surprised. Well, I really like this one. I really, really do like that. And I didn't realise it's got text, and you're right.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
Because of this has come from antique books that the designer was all inspired by. She sort of made collages out of them.
It's really cute.
And then it was transferred into the fabric.
Well, I just thought it was just, you know, like when you haven't got quite a clean, when you do block printing, it's not quite a clean print. I thought it was just that, but when I looked, when you said it, I was like, well, hang on a minute. And I had a look.
No, it is actual, yeah.
And here as well.
It's print all over it.
And even on the sort of corally red one here, there's text all over that. So I was
Hence the paper meadow, you see. Yay,
Eileen's
every day.
messaged
in. Hello, Eileen. Oh, they have a new baby coming soon.
Oh, this would be perfect for you.
Perfect. Well, that's just it. Eileen, do you know what flavour? Are you boy or a girl? Boy or a girl? Am I the only one that calls them flavours?
Flavours?
Apparently, yes. You know what I mean.
What flavour are we going for?
What flavour today? So actually, if you're having a little... Actually, this is perfect for a girl or boy, because you've got the pinks and you've got the blues in there. You've got the corals and the light pinks in there, but you've also got the navies and the light blue. So... And it almost doesn't matter, Eileen, if you know what flavour it is.
What flavour?
This is actually perfect. But are you going to get the book as well? Tell us. Because lots of different makes. If I'd have known how much mess children create,
right,
I would have made far more storage before I had Freddie.
Yes, it's true. This is a lot true.
And this book would have been perfect for that. Do you need
No, I'm good. I'm just sewing 2 pieces together. So I'm just creating the main fabric now.
We're doing this out of the book. So here we go. So if you do have small people in your life, if you're expecting small people, then this is absolutely perfect. This is your pillowcase. We're making this.
We
Jenniffer is
I've gone very quiet. I'm concentrating.
Concentrating, we know. But it's one of 50 different designs in here. I'll keep my finger on there so we can come back to it.
Thank you.
What have we got here? Doopy things. Farmyard sewing machine cover. Nice. But of course that's just down to the fabric. 50 projects. I wonder if it's got accessories, book covers, home decor, organisation, everything using fat quarters. Look at that patchwork skirt. That's gorgeous.
It is lovely, isn't it?
Great fun. All in here for just £13.95. What did we decide that worked out at? £2 something a pattern. 27 pence a pattern. Bargain. What else can you get for 27p?
Not a lot these days.
You can barely get penny sweets for. I mean, which
there's no such thing as a penny sweet anymore.
It negates the name, doesn't it? It's like, well, hang on, it's not a penny anymore. I love this as well. Ooh, now this is. Oh.
What are you looking at?
Well, no, I'm looking at the. I'm a scarf. You know, I'm a scarf girl. I always come in big old scarves. But this is perfect because when you get a fat quarter range, when you get a bundle, the colours go, don't they?
They do, yeah.
So you know that you can twist that, turn that inside out.
A double-sided scarf.
That makes me happy.
That's
it's like
magic.
an infinity scarf, isn't it? Because it just keeps going round. But you see all of those different colours. So say you did this out of the Dashwood range, you'd have all those colours that go and complement and work together. Ooh. And then you could, if you had jeans, then you could have the navy as like the highlighted piece, or if you had like a little white T-shirt or something.
You're messing with planets now, you are. You're messing with planets.
I'm having fun. I love these, the nesting bowls.
They are nice. There's something for everybody in that book.
There is, at every level as well, which is just perfect. £13.95, that's a bargain.
I think it'd make a nice gift. A nice gift, book, and a set of fat quarters to send them on their way.
Nice. What about this? Here, because that's perfect for a baby's nursery, isn't it?
Oh, that's perfect.
In fact, you could do that because when you have the cots and you put the paddy bits around the sides of the cot so they don't bash their heads when they're sleeping and wake up. You do not want your baby waking up. Then that's perfect. You could do that around there. £13.95. There's a load in here, and we're making all sorts of things. I like. Now, do you need to tell us how you're doing this, or are you just going for it?
I'm reading the instructions. That always helps a little bit. So I've cut out my pieces. So I've just completed the first section. I just need to trim a bit off.
Okay, so it's like a recipe book. Materials: 3 fat quarters of fabric. Oh, we need some lace or ribbon or something.
We're omitting the lace. We're going with the mustard border. Okay. Have we got lace? Unless you can get it to me right now. No. We're not having lace.
Oh, nice. I do like this.
It's cute, isn't
it? This is what we are. Well, it's coming out of the book. Look, poor Jenniffer wandered in here this morning thinking she was going to make.
Had everything planned.
What were you going to make this morning?
I was going to show you how to do the pencil case because it's a really nifty one. It's just on there. It's got a really nice.
Pencil case. This came out of the book as well. I feel like we're teasing you. You need to get the book so you can do all these things. This is the pencil case over here, which doesn't have pencils in. It's got various.
Well, I thought I'd use it as the theme I was going for was just organising my sewing room. So I've got my little book of scraps, which I covered, and then my little ready-to-go sewing kit, which was it's the pencil case in the book, but I made it big enough to get my scissors and everything in there instead. But I really like the zigzag offset zip. Yeah. It's unusual, isn't it?
Fit everything in. And again, this is from your Dashwood fabric. You get such a range, don't you, of designs in that fat quarter bundle from the Dashwood. Details up on your screen, just the other side of Jennifer's head.
Yeah.
We've got other fat quarters. I'm going to go and have a look.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm going to leave you to...
That's fine. Well, I feel like I've accomplished something now. I've got my front and my back pieces patched together.
In like 5 minutes?
In fact, worker. So I'm going to do a little pressing and I'll wait for you to come back.
Wow! That's amazing!
That's all right.
A dress in like 5 minutes. Awesome.
We're not quite there yet.
Right, let's have a look at... this... Oh, OK, not having a look at that one again. We've had a look at that one, apparently. I'm going to come over here then instead. Now, I love these ones. I'm going to look at the owls, because I love the owls. In this collection, you get 2 lots of owls, and then you get 4 different planes to go with it, which complement the owls, and we do like a complementary owl. So, if we just have a look here at the owls, This would look nice in your pencil case.
Oh, yeah.
And then you see you could line it in one of the fabrics. What I like about this is that you've got sort of a dusky tone to the colours. So that's not always an easy colour to match. So look what they've done. They've given you the dusky colours that are the tones, the owl tones in there, all done. And there you go, there are owls there. So you get 2 owls and then you get the 4 different plain fabrics on there. I love that. We had this with the, when we did the kit with the caravan, and it went crazy. So maybe you've already made your caravan, you want to make more, and you want to stuck up on this fabric. Here you can. It's there. It's I believe it's $14.95, and it's from the same company that brought us the Notions producer Paul. Oh, you haven't got it? Is this the oh, right, okay. We can't find it. We're struggling to find the owls. Let's have a look at something. What would you like me to look at then, producer Paul? Which should we go for next? This one. I shall stop teasing you with my owls, and I'll show you the Notions. So this is from the same company, and again, the way that they do it is, here we go. You have 2 of the patterns and then the lovely plains that go with it. So perfect if you've got your fat quarter, 50 fat quarter makes, and maybe you're doing some gorgeous little, well, like the pouch that Jenniffer's made. Absolutely perfect for that. You can have that as the outside. You can have a lining. You can make your bias binding out of that and bind it, and all the colours go. So the colours that you've got in here, and I love this because these are all your little sewing notions here. So you've got your knitting needles, your scissors, your pin cushion. You've got all of those. $12.95 for your contemporary notions. BOGQ 25. You've got your tape measure. Don't worry, I always forget that word, tape measure. It's just a tape measure, it's not difficult. You've got buttons, you've got safety pins, you've got thimbles, everything that we use day to day in our sewing room in there in a fabric print design, just for $12.95, and you're getting 6 fat quarters. Love that. So that's just a smidge over £2 fat quarter. Bargain, bargain. Right, what would you like to look at next? Ooh, decisions. Do we want to... Oh, hang on. Look at these. I don't think I've seen these before on a show. Look at these spots. These are great fun. These remind me of bubbles. And bubbles remind me of nice times and happy times. $10.95 for your bubbles. Well, we call them summer dots. In my mind, they're bubbles. £10.95. That's a nice long summer drink to me. Bubbling up. Ooh. In beautiful, vivid colours, perfect for summer. £10.95. Maybe you are doing a little patchwork quilt, maybe you just want that as lining, maybe you want that as the outside of your bag, maybe you just want to have all of those fun designs, mixing and match in these lovely colourways. £10.95. It's a stash booster. Pop it in. FDGQ 64. But then we've got another. If polka dots are your thing, let me show you some other polka dots. And here we go with these. So here you've got 3 polka dots, but then you've got the colours that go with them. So there's your polka dots, but then you've got your florals here, which all work a treat. Here we go. So these are the ones that we've got. So you've got your... do you know what, actually? These would work beautifully with the other spots that we had. Ooh, lovely. Let's have a look at one of these in detail, shall we? Because this would have been nice for your summer dress as well. Look at that.
That would have been super cute.
It's very cute, isn't it? You've got such a pretty little design on there. You've got your flowers in there, butterflies in there. Lovely. And that's one. So we've got 3 different designs of that. And then your dots that go with it. Absolute treat. $14.95 for those. Jenniffer, I'm coming to see what you're doing over there because you're busy.
I am busy.
Now, we challenged Jenniffer this morning what you thought you were going to do, and what we decided we wanted you to do.
It's something completely different.
But happily, they all come out of this book. And this is the joy of it. What we wanted to show you is you've got, I don't know, an hour free, couple of hours free, you want to make something, grab your book, grab your fat quarters. The fat quarters that you've used here, let me show you these, are the Dashwood. Now, Dashwood happily cut these exclusively for us here at the Sewing Quarter. And it is from your Paper Meadow collection. Let me show you the range that you've got, because I think that's the joy of this, is that you do get such a range. So you've got everything from sort of the petal, flower, leaf design there, through to the actual flower sort of thing, but all with this paper design motif going through, to then, this is like rains or mountain ranges or something.
I think that is water, when light hits water and it reflects. That's what that reminds me of.
You see, looking at it on the screen, I'm seeing mountain ranges because she was in New Zealand when she designed the range. So I don't know. It's amazing that everybody sees something different.
Things differently.
I see flowers. What do you see?
Yeah, definitely some flowers going on there.
Oh, tumble blocks.
Yeah, or little nuts.
Yeah, little mechanical nuts. So actually, this could be a collection for boys or girls. It works both ways. Then you've got...
That's really nice.
I love that. And again, that's one that could be used for boys or girls. And then your spots. That's what you lined your pencil case with, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
I love that. And then this. Now, you said cosmopolitan on this, didn't you? You said this is a bit more urban.
Yeah, like sort of industry, like steel girders or trains. Like, I just see it differently. But either way, it just all the colours, everything blends in. It's just really lovely to work with.
So when we gave you a challenge, we said, here are the fat quarters, $19.95 for 8 of those. Here's the book. We flick through it, and we've got this one for a ready, steady sew situation.
So I've used 3 fat quarters in my piece, but because I wanted to get the patchwork effect. But in theory, you could probably get away with using 1.5 fat quarters if you wanted to go with a plain dress rather than this kind of patchwork number. But the fabrics go so nicely together. Why not patchwork?
Doesn't it just show that though? Because all of a sudden, okay, if I'd have been left to my own devices, I would never have thought of putting coral with mustard.
Why not?
But it really works.
I love it.
Because I'm not that adventurous. You would. This is your colour palette.
Yes. You've sometimes just got to be bold, just go for it.
I know.
But then when you buy things like a fat quarter, it's taking care of it for you.
Because I wouldn't have done it by myself.
Exactly.
But when I see it all put together like this, I'm like, yes,
that works.
Love that. That works. You see, because I'm a Tilda girl. You see, I'm your pretty florals, and that's why it's lovely when we get you on the shows, because you're like, no, I'm modern and retro
bright
as well.
Yeah.
You love all of these, and so for me, it's expanding. My appreciation and my knowledge, it's really good for me.
Yeah.
And so I look at this and I go, actually, yes, I love this. I can imagine this on a little tot, running around. You could then put, for when it gets a bit chillier, put a little long sleeve thing and tights. Gorgeous. Now,
so I've got my front and back.
Do you want to see what's next? It says lay the 2 dress pieces right sides together and pin.
Yeah, so I'm doing the side seams now. So all I've done here, I've used the measurements that gives you a small or a large armhole, which are these J cuts here, to give you your arm space.
Yes.
So once you've got that, you are right. I used the one and transferred it to the other, so I laid it on top and just used it as a pattern, as a base. So I've got that. I know that they're symmetrical on both sides.
And being a dressmaker, obviously, this is the ideal one that we've given you here.
Yeah. Thanks for being kind.
That's all right. It was.
Although you did kind of with a big pin.
Yeah, it was Lady Chance.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
So I'm doing my side seams now. So this is.
So you just whiz down that side seam. Of course, all the instructions in the book. So grab the book, and then you too can be making such things. But it's about then the material that you choose. So we've gone for a modern design here from Dashwood Studios. Maybe you want something a little bit more classic and uber pretty. In which case we've got. Now this is from your Pardon My Garden range, and this is your Tilda. Isn't that pretty? We do love our Tilda. I was showing you my latest Tilda patchwork bag, wasn't I? Can't stop now, started patchworking. Here we go. So in this bundle You've got your greens, you've got your navies, you've got, I say greens, they describe it as avocado, don't you know? Sounds like a delicious lunch, doesn't it?
Oh, I love avocado.
And this is your Pardon My Garden range, one of my favourites there, love that. But then you see you've also got this bold in here, really love it. Now, you see, you know what I was saying about how your Tilda ranges go and they work so beautifully together. So if I just go back and just grab here you've got your navies, you've got that red in there, which means that if you've got your Sweetheart range, look, the colours work. So if you want the Sweetheart, that's your details there. If you want the Pardon My Garden details, pink there. But they just work so well together. Now here you've got a teal stripe going through there, but then with that avocado print on top of there, really gorgeous. And then here pulls out that pretty light pink, but then with that raspberry pink through there. You've also got a light blue through there and that avocado. Vintage, you've got that cream base to these, so absolutely beautiful. So whichever Tilda collection you're going for, you know they're going to work, and you know they're uber gorgeous and beautiful to work with as well. Now, it's Fat Quarter Fun. We've got.
I'm not having fun.
Oh no! Why aren't you having fun? No, well, you should be, because you're a dressmaker, and we've given you a dress to make out of our book. So, poor Jenniffer. It's like being back on the old B again, isn't it?
It's like being on the B again. No, it is.
No pressure, but make us a dress, make it now, make it well, and make it in an hour.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing this morning.
But you can do it at home in your leisure.
Unless you want to set yourself a challenge. Maybe you've got to pick the kids up at a certain time, but you just need to get a quick
last-minute present that you forgot to get. This is a great book for that.
Or, well, this is the thing, isn't it? What I'm beginning to realise is that kids have, like, birthday parties every week. What's that all about? And they want a different outfit every time. Here we go, you can make your own beautiful dresses, party dresses every time. And you're getting 50 versatile projects in here. So everything from your little pillow dress through to tidies, door stoppers, just, hang on, let's have a flick through and then you'll get an idea. But the breadth of design of here is breathtaking. It's just, it's really, really well. Through to, this is your dog bandana here. I mean, everything is thought of.
I love that.
Dog bandanas and pockets. What would... I mean, this is the book for you,
This is the book for me.
This is definitely the book for you. I like that little skirt.
It's cute.
Is that for kids, or could I wear that?
You could wear it. You might need to patch your fat. It's a fat quarter make, so
okay.
I know you're tinky tiny, but I'm not sure you'll be able to do it out of a fat quarter.
I'm 6 foot. When was 6 foot
tinky
tiny
waist? But anyway.
Well, okay, so I'm an inch under 6 foot. Poor old producer Paul's gone, what? Didn't realise you were that tall. Yeah, I have been lovingly described as a big old bird. I'm comfortable with that. Here we go. I love this, though, look. And silhouette, the silhouette animals, it's all in there.
Nice. I really like that the templates are in the back of the book as well.
That's what I was just thinking, there must be templates, surely, if they're doing that. Should we have a look at those? So your templates are all in here. There's a bear. This is, look, there you go. There's your, there are your silhouettes for your dog and cat cushions. Well, that's perfect, isn't it? Because then, when you've got your plain fabrics, you can really highlight with that. £13.95 for 50 projects, so it's 26 pence per project. Oh, what's that? Yeah, what's that? I don't know what it is.
This is what you get when you get that book home. Ooh!
This is brilliant. How are you getting on over there, Jenniffer?
All good.
Because I'm having enough time over here.
I'm just doing a single hem on my armholes. So what I've done is I've zigzagged the underside just to finish off the raw edges, and then I'm just sewing that down with a straight stitch. Okay. Because we're doing it super quick.
Do you know what I've just found?
What have we just found?
It's like saccharine sweets.
Oh!
No, look, because you know how you're making a pillowcase dress? You can make it for your teddy bear. You can make the bear and then make a matching pillowcase dress for the bear.
Oh, that's so cute. I didn't know that was in there.
Hang on. I'm now just thinking, out of my Dashwood material, what would I make the bear out of? Do you need to read the instructions, or are you just...
No, I'm all right. I'm good. I had a quick read through.
She's an expert. And she'd had a coffee, so there is no stopping her. Now, I might make the bear out of the blue.
Oh, yeah.
And then you could dress him in whatever.
Well, there's leftover scraps of my dress, so you could make a matching dress. Oh, no, it's so cute.
That's ridiculously cute.
Oh, it's so
or
cute.
you could do the bear out of the spots. Couldn't you?
You could have it in any...
Oh.
Either way, I just think it's a really nice idea.
And then you can have all the matching dresses so that not only does your bear coordinate, but you coordinate... Well, what a lovely gift.
That'd be super
What
cute.
an amazing gift. Here's the bear. It's got a dress. The dress matches your dress. Have the dress as well. Happy days.
Ta-da!
I mean, if you're after, like, winning the grandparent prize for best grandparent...
Then that would be it.
That would be it. That's how to do it. I told you when I was... I've told this story before, so you have to excuse me if you've heard it before. When I was at school, there was a little boy called Johnny Williams.
Right.
Who's obviously, probably like a policeman or something now. But, and Johnny Williams, his nan was like the school secretary or something like that.
Right.
And when he came to school, bearing in mind we're little tiddly tots 4,
Okay.
His nan made a school uniform for his Snoopy so that he could bring Snoopy to... Yeah. So this is it, you see. You make the dress, then you make the matching dress... Because you've got all of the fat quarters, and you even make the teddy bear to go with it. Boom!
Boom.
That's the joy of your fat quarter bundle. You too can be like Johnny Williams, and everybody.
I mean, they were super jealous.
We were all jealous.
Why don't you make me one of those, Mum? Because I haven't got that book. That's why. I have now. Right.
It's perfect, isn't it?
It is. So I've done my armholes.
Yeah.
So now I'm just going to be doing a casing for our ribbon to go through for the straps. So it's just I've folded over just a little bit at the top and then folded over again approximately about an inch.
Have you got brothers or sisters?
I have a brother.
You have a brother. When you were a kid, what's the age gap between you?
3 years.
3 years. Okay, so you would have needed, if you were given a gift, same but different. Especially when you were little.
My mum was always like, don't give one without the other.
No, you can't give one without the other. So, he could have had a blue bear, you could have had a mustard bear.
Yes.
Yes. That's
of course,
the way.
I'll do it, yep.
Yay!
I'll have that.
But that's the way, isn't it? Talking to my friends with children, it's always same but different. And I've got several friends with twins.
And yeah, I mean, I like it when twins are dressed the same, but they are
Same but
individuals, so it is nice to make them have their little... Same but different.
And this is where things like this, your Dashwood bundle is perfect because you've got same but different. So they are coordinated beautifully, but with a bit of individual style and flair. And that is the joy of your bundle.
I wish I was dressed in Dashwood as a kid, that'd be, eh?
Was it around? How long has Dashwood been around for?
I don't know.
I was dressed in cloth kits as a kid.
I know, you mentioned that the other day.
Come and have a look at one of the other ones while Jenniffer does some sewing.
Yeah,
Are you all right there?
Yeah, I'm all good, yeah.
Okay. I want to show you the Contemporary Notions. This is the second most popular this morning. And we can see why, because, look, your coordination has gone with it. So if you're doing basically any of the projects in the Fat Quarter book, then this is perfect, because whether you need a lining or you just need a colour to accent the lovely pattern that you've got here, then it just means that your sewing room can be all coordinated with something that's relevant to your sewing room. Absolutely gorgeous. These are not your normal colours that you're going to find. They're sort of a dusky hue to them. So the fact that they've matched these colours, these solids in with it is really lovely, because you're not going to be struggling to try to find them. It's all in there, ready to go. You've got your aubergine in there, you've got your dusky teal, you've got that lovely pale blue there. But then you've also got, see, because that's not quite navy. It's almost navy, but not quite. So it's lovely to have that variety there, which all go with the prints on here. So you get 2 of the detailed prints and then 4 of the colours, and it works. It's just one of those ones. Maybe you had this in the caravan kit that we had that sold out. Then maybe you need to stock up your stash. £12.95, BOGQ 25. That that's your item number to get that. Now, if you want to get in touch, 0800 112 4433 is our free phone number. So if you have any questions about anything, then please do phone our free phone number. I love the fact that it's a free phone. I love the fact that it's in the UK. And I love the fact that it's there for you. 1 goes through to sales, 2 goes through to the help team, who are happy to help if you have any questions about anything that you see on the shows. Now, other ways to get in touch with us this morning, which lots of you are already, and thank you very much for that. You go to watch on the website, and then underneath where we are live is message the studio box. You can message us. Hello, hello. Lovely to hear from you. It does have sort of a cap on the number of letters that you can use there. So if you've got lots that you want to say to us, then email us, which is studio@sewingquarter.com.
Blue or white?
Oh, we're onto the ribbon. Gosh, you're good.
Thanks. Blue or white? Blue. I thought blue too. I'm glad you said that.
Just as well, because you'd opened it. So if you've just joined us, going, what on earth are you two up to this morning? We do wonder this as well.
I wonder that most
Jenniffer the Fat Makes 50 Fat Quarter Makes books. I'd like to shorten it to just Fat Makes.
Fat Makes. Yeah.
So it's 50 Fat Makes. £13.95. We gave this to Jenniffer, and you made a couple of lovely makes from it.
I did.
You did a book cover,
and I planned a lovely show.
A pencil case. Yeah, you did plan a lovely show. And it wasn't that we didn't love your show. It was just that we got overexcited and went,
you know I love a challenge. I do. I'm complaining about it, but I do love a challenge. I do love a challenge. But you've got to,
Yeah.
You've got to give a mick, haven't you?
And you were quite happy to be challenged.
Yes.
So
I was definitely happy to be challenged.
We gave you the Dashwood Fat Quarters and said, sort of flick through the back, make this one. So you're making the pillowcase dress. We've got to the stage now where we need some ribbon.
So I'm just feeding that through my casing.
So we rummaged, we found some ribbon. Actually, I'd say we found some ribbon.
It's really nice.
Like really pretty, it's like satiny ribbon, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's double-faced polyester satin. 20 metres of this. Look at the price, $6.45 for 20 metres. That's a squidge over 25 pence.
That's
What's
nice.
that, about 30 pence a metre? Mr. Maths upstairs.
Mr. Maths. I'm concentrating.
Yeah, $6.45 divided by 20, please. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
You said it the wrong way around. But there we go, so about 30 pence a metre.
Bargain. That's good. That's a great vote.
30 pence a metre, that's what I said, wasn't it? Yeah.
Really?
Absolute bargain. Now, we've also got this in white. So we've got it in navy or white, 2 colours that, quite frankly, we use all the time.
And goes great with these fabrics.
Yeah. So this is your... Oh, you've got to have a white ribbon, even if it's just for doing up parcels. $6.45 again. It's from Groves. You can wash this. 50 degrees you can wash this at.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought
there it is. And it's got... Actually, you can probably see it more easily in the navy, because it's open, but they've got it's got that pretty thing around the edge. Do you know the one? So there we go. So $6.45 for either one of those ribbons.
I'm almost done.
You haven't. Really?
Please excuse the. It's like a sewing bee garment. Just don't look inside.
Okay, I won't look inside. Well, I'll have a look whilst you titivate and make it. Oh,
I've done it. I was just getting rid of some threads. Oh. I was thinking, have we got time for a pocket? Have we got time for a pocket?
Yeah, there's time for a pocket.
Let's do a pocket.
Another fabric. I want a contrasting fabric.
I was going to go mustard. What colour?
What else have you got in your stash? Out of your dashboard, what have you got? The blue.
The polka dot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I want a polka dot pocket.
Okay, fine.
I see your dress and I raise it by a pocket. So this is the dress made in 50 minutes. Start to finish. That's amazing. That's really amazing. Now, obviously, you're a dressmaker, so but the instructions are all in the book.
Yeah, don't...
You haven't deviated from the instructions, apart if you didn't put lace on the bottom, because we don't have lace on the show. That's how organised we were. I love that. Because that's the joy of it, isn't it? You can tighten it up as much as you want. That's going to look so cute. Have we got someone small to fit that on?
Can we lend somebody?
Can we lend
somebody quickly?
Producer Paul says he's not that tall.
We could get...
Yeah, but
I reckon you could get in it.
I don't think that we're going to.
The thing is, though, in theory, you could make it into a top for an adult.
A little
camisole type top.
Yeah.
You could, though, couldn't you? Obviously, you need to make the arms a little bit bigger.
I was also surprised that Paul was suggesting that he try it on because he's actually not that small and male. But you know,
it's like a vest. It's a vest.
Yeah, a vest.
Oh. So
he doesn't think you'd look very hench in it.
Hench, I love that. Okay, so I've done my pocket. So this is a great little tip actually while we're doing the pocket. To get a nice smooth edge on your, in this case I'm doing a circular based pocket. I've done a quick running stitch with the machine, so that's basically where you do a really long stitch. So
Did you do it to the longest the
machine will give me? And all you need to do is pull the bobbin thread, which is actually the one underneath. Grab that quick, and then if you just gather it slightly and distribute those that gather into the curves, it gives it shape. So when you press it, you've got a nice curved edge. Rather than, I find if you do it by hand, you end up with a kind of almost like hexagon kind of shape, whereas that's giving you a nice curved edge. So that you could just go in with the iron and press that down for you.
I love that. Not only have you risen to our challenge, I'm going to call this slot Challenge Jenniffer. Yeah. It's a bit like Challenge Annika, but without lycra.
Please don't put me in lycra.
I'm not going to put you in lycra. It's fine. I'm not going to do that to you. Or have those shots where she runs away from the camera in lycra. That's my overwhelming...
I just need one of those, like, Madonna mics.
Yeah, we could give you one of those. Yeah.
You could. Oh, well, let's do it. Let's have a chat.
This show is shaping up, isn't it?
Let's chat.
Next time we do Challenge Jenniffer...
I'm going to be jumping out of a plane while sewing.
Yeah. I was going to say, that has wings, and then realised the pun. So, I love how you've managed to add in a pocket. Impromptu pocket. Anne's messaging. Hello, Anne.
Hi,
Lovely to hear from you. She said, very inspirational and informative.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, there is a pocket on the dress. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. I thought you were going off-piece pockets.
No.
No, she's
if it wasn't there, I would have done it anyway.
You would have done. I know you would have done. So here we go. This is out of the book. And we just threw this at... Well, we didn't throw the book at Jenniffer. That would have been, you know, mean.
That's a whole different other thing.
Yeah. HR. We gave you the book and we looked through it and we went, yes... What can we make from here? And we found the dress and went, well, that's lovely, isn't it? So we'd give that to you. Oh, look at that. Really pretty. Hey, your Tilda fat quarters would look nice making that, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's got Tilda written all over it, that has. So what I love about this book is that whatever style of fat quarters, because I don't know about you, but I've got such a variety of fat quarters in my stash. And, you know, if you're buying from us today, just the variety that we've got on the show for you just means that actually... There's going to be a style in here that's going to suit all sorts. There's another type of dress there.
Oh,
that's
got
pretty
like
too,
a bound edge. So it looks like a similar kind of concept.
Similar, but with binding.
Oh, that's lovely.
So if you've got to make, you can make that, can't you?
Good.
This is great fun. This book's got everything.
It is a really good book.
Even a dog bandana. Happy days.
Eric would look great in that.
He'd look amazing in it. What colour do you think for Eric's?
Blue, actually, I think.
This colour, because that's the colour of his eyes. My Great Dane has stunning blue eyes, and that would just make the perfect bandana. And that's out of the Dashwood. So, look, the book today has been our absolute inspiration. £13.95. WNSP03 for your 50 fat quarter makes. So, do you know... A lot of times I hear people saying, oh, I've lost my sewing mojo.
Oh.
Well, this is your mojo booster. Get it back. With style.
With style. Oh, that just sets it off perfect, that little pocket.
Do you know, I'm impressed. I'm very impressed. So out of the book, Jenniffer has made, in less than an hour, I'm impressed, super impressed. Look, that gorgeous dress. And it's got a pocket. That's made your day, hasn't it?
It's made my day.
You weren't thinking that you were going to do a pocket this morning?
No.
Love that.
I love it.
You know when we said earlier how the colours all work together? They wouldn't necessarily have been colours that I would have ever put together, but then you see it like this and doesn't it work? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? It's bright, it's vibrant, it's fun, it's a bit different,
Just
it's
need a headband
quirky.
Now, matching headband.
Yes. So this is your Dashwood fabric. You can see the script in there because this was inspired by antique books, actually. So there we go, 1995. You're getting 8 fat quarters from Dashwood. They cut the fat quarters just for us. Nice. Made in record time.
Made in record. Yeah. I feel like I need a stiff drink because I've had a coffee.
Well, I think it's because you had your
cute.
coffee that you got done in under an hour. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'm really pleased with that.
You can be making these 50 different makes. Grab the book, grab the fabric, off you go. The book details are down there. The fabric details are there. Up next, what about the foundation paper piecing?
I reckon I really try I can get it on.
Yeah. We'll see. Try that one.
I'm just going to go try it
break and see. But I reckon that you could make adult sizes easy.
We just need to make
the pair of jeans.
Oh yeah, just need to make the fat quarter a little bit bigger.
Nice. Check out your baskets. Don't be disappointed. Make sure that you've got everything that you need. It's 1 P&P per day. That's how we do our P&P. I love that.
That is good.
So, grab your P&P. Grab your P&P.
Grab
it's
it,
one
just grab it.
And this is what took me a little while to work out.
Yeah.
Check out your basket as many times as you like.
Anytime.
It's only going to be 1 P&P. Now, talking of any time, you're back in an hour.
I am.
What do you bring
I have
us?
no idea. Don't spring another challenge on me.
In the second show, I'm going to show you how you can even design your own.
Nice.
Get your start on designing your own.
So we're using the Amy Butler fabrics.
Yes.
Why do these work so well for this kind of style?
I like that foundation paper piecing, you can use small amounts of really amazing prints. Really nice prints. So you can see on the little mini quilt that I made with all the spools on, I've used a different print from each of the most of the fat quarters in the range.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's really
the one.
Nice to be able to showcase the prints. And I've got a pin cushion here that I've made as well that I've fussy cut, because you mentioned about fussy cutting.
Yeah, well, you see, that's just it. I mean, if we're looking at the spools quickly there, you can really, that can be your scraps. You can use up your scraps, can't you?
Yeah.
Whilst showcasing beautiful designer material.
Yes.
But like you say, your fussy cutting, which I just touched on earlier, perfect for that. You find a little something that works.
Yeah,
and
I've just taken one element of the design. So actually on the back, you can see I've fussy cut the middle of the flower for the reverse, but I've used the centre of the flower in the middle of the spool.
I'm going to go and grab that fat quarter
so
just
that
to show
see
you
what it looks like.
Which bit it was. Here we go. It was this bit, wasn't it? Oh, I love this one.
So I've used that really massive print, but just picked out one element of that.
And of course, it could have been this little area here. There are so many. Once you start getting into, could have been that bit. So this here came out of this.
And when we do up the sample, we'll choose a different one. Choose a different print.
And that is, of course, a centrepiece. Love it.
It's nice, isn't it?
Now, foundation paper piecing.
Yes, that is effectively where you're using the paper in order to create a foundation for sewing together your pattern.
Okay.
So it stabilises, because when you're foundation paper piecing, you're sewing at strange angles, and that can throw the grain off on the fabric.
Because as soon as you work with a bias, it's stretchy.
Really stretchy,
Is that right?
and can come out of place. So the paper helps stabilise that.
Oh, okay.
So that keeps it in place.
Do we need a special paper?
No. You can use standard printer paper that I've used.
Other options, like newspaper?
You could do, if print doesn't come off.
If you iron it, it sets the print. And then you're not having to use
I don't think it comes off anymore, does it?
No.
I think it's set. Other options you've got are you can buy tracing paper in A4 size that you can put through your printer, which is a nice, thin, translucent type paper. You can use layout paper, which is readily available. It's artists use it for drawing and sketching.
Those artists, they get everywhere, don't they?
But standard printer paper is about 80 GSM. I'll get technical on you.
Yep.
That's about 80 GSM as standard, and it's cheap. It's the cheapest option to go for.
So whatever you've got in your printer, invariably you can
Works
probably
absolutely
use.
fine.
Okay, so don't stress. You don't need to go out and buy anything, especially if you've got paper in your printer.
Then
grab
that's
a sheet of
absolutely
that.
fine.
Now,
some people like to use a thinner paper because you can see through it, but the tracing paper, I find, when you iron it, goes a bit curly.
Okay.
And if you make a mistake, it rips too easily.
So go with your printer paper. We've got, because this is something new that we're showing you here at Sewing Quarter, we've got 2 brand new items to show you as well. Add a quarter plus ruler.
Yes,
What's that all about?
We're still in the world of patchwork and quilting.
Yes.
So we're using a 1/4 inch.
Okay.
But when you are foundation paper piecing, the way that it is constructed, you need to trim your seam allowances to a 1/4 inch. But what you're working with can be quite bulky. So there's a special ruler called an add a quarter ruler.
Right, yes.
And this has a special lip on the underside.
Now we've got 2 on something. We've got one's that in a pack of 2 and one that's on its own.
On its own.
So this is the one that's on its own. So if you're calling up, then you'll know which one to go for. And how long is this?
This one is 6 inches long.
So let me just show you that. That's add a quarter plus patent pending. So that's your ruler bit there.
So there's a ruler bit here, but the important part of this tool is actually this little lip here. I'll show you in a bit how that's used. But that's the important part to the ruler.
So you can see, there. So you can see that there's a lip there, and that's important.
That's the important, useful part of this tool.
So we're looking at this bit. This is what this tool is all about. I'm intrigued. I don't know how this is going to work.
Magic.
And this is sort of tapered down. How do we use it? Show me.
Okay, so when you have a foundation paper piecing pattern, you will quite often, what you will have is a line drawing of the pattern itself.
Right.
You will have a diagram that shows you how to put the pattern together, because it normally comes in sections. And then you'll have the pattern itself.
It's a jigsaw.
It is just like a jigsaw. The pattern itself should have a 1/4 inch seam allowance around each section that becomes important for later. What you need to have a think about before you cut up and start sewing is think about how you're going to use your fabrics.
Right.
So if you would like to choose, here's my leftovers. Choose for the middle part of the spool.
Okay, so how big is my middle part?
Oh, it's only small. It's only a small amount.
In that case, I'm going to go for this fabric.
Good choice.
Yeah, because I want a fussy cut. This is the one that I think looks a bit folk arty.
Lovely. So we'll choose a small portion of that print. That will be nice.
Well, I thought the middle bit there.
Yes, that would be lovely.
Will that work?
Yeah, pretty. So I'm just going to write... Oh, yes, if you could.
All right. Oh,
we've got the mini iron today, because that's just quite handy. You'll find with foundation paper piecing, you spend a lot of time going between your sewing machine and your iron. Sewing machine and iron.
I'll just give this a quick press.
So what I like to do, particularly with more complicated designs, is mark up on your pattern which prints are going where. So we're just going to put A.B. Butler on here.
A. Butler.
A. Butler.
Okay.
And then on a scrap of paper, Amy Butler.
So a little bit of organisation.
Just to make sure that you know what you're doing, which order.
Over here, you can see I'm having a little iron. This is so handy for projects like this. This is your Clover mini iron. Now, we've got this $49.95. The joy of the Clover mini iron is... well, numerous. Firstly, it gets into all those little nooks and crannies. You can see it's shaped like your big iron at home, but in tiddly tiny form, so it can get into all those little nooks and crannies. If you do any applique, perfect for that if you're using your heat and bond, things like that. But it also comes with different attachments, which we've got on the website. So if you need a larger head, we've got that. If you need one for rolling flowers and things, we've got those. And as we bring those up, I'll explain what each of them do, because I get a bit overexcited.
It's
true.
So I'm just transferring.
Well,
This particular design, it's not quite as important, but if you work in more complicated designs, you might have various shades of the same colour.
Right.
So it's important just to get yourself organised.
Now, if I was ironing a larger area, then I probably would have used my larger adapter. This is $8.95, but still it's going to get into all those little corners. You think when you make your cushions, your bags, and you've got all those little corners, then you need to get in. And that, of course, is perfectly angled for that. And that's $8.95. Now, which one should we look at? Should we look at the ball one? Look at this. This is one of my favourite ones. You know when we bring you shows and we show you Japanese flower making and all those sorts of things, or whether you make your own flowers out of your fabric, then this is great for ironing those petals and really giving shape to those.
Oh, it's clever.
It's a shaper.
I've not seen that used before.
It's very clever. $8.95 for that DGGQ75. But then, you know when you do a leg... when you just hang on.
If you do you mean like in toy making?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. So it's all right. I'm just trying to put it.
Not
I'm going to put the iron down so that I can actually show you one thing at a time. So here we go. This is for perfect when you're making your own bias binding. It's also perfect for getting in when you make your toy making, ears, legs, things like that.
Those little tiny nooks and crannies.
Yeah, you can get in and press. It's great.
I think that's the favourite attachment so far.
$8.95 CVGQ93. It's one of those things that when you get it, you've got it, and you absolutely know that you need it. Now,
okay, so we've got our fabrics ready. I've labelled them up,
okay,
so that you're not confused at a later stage. And I've just pre-cut out the pattern pieces. So I've cut out the pattern. You cut your pattern out along the lines.
okay,
And we're going to start out with the middle section, because that's the most important to begin with.
And this is where we're going to paper piece on our beautiful Amy Butler fabric.
So if you just start out with, and we'll just lay that.
It's such a bold print you can sort of see through, can't you? I mean,
yeah, and the tip is that you can hold up to the light.
Yeah.
To get that, or hold it up to a window, or you can make your own light box with a Tupperware container and your mobile phone with a torch on it. Anything along those lines.
And just pin that on?
Yeah, I'm just going to pin that on and roughly cut out for the time being, because we're in the middle of a piece of fabric. So I'm just going to...
See, today's a learning day for me because I have no idea how to do this.
No ruler.
Well, yeah, you're brave.
Well, this bit doesn't matter so much. This feels like a terrible waste of fabric, but when you're fussy cutting, there is always a bit.
Then that's okay.
But it's worth it if you're going to make something really lovely.
So put that material to the side, and you've labelled it. So if you want to come back and use that same piece of fabric for the same part of another piece,
yes.
If you're going to repeat the pattern, then do that. Yes. Organisation.
Yes, it is. It's about getting a system and being organised. Now, when you're foundation paper piecing, a pattern will tell you which order to sew in.
Okay.
So it will tell you which piece is first. It's got a number 1 on it, then a number 2 and a number 3.
Okay.
So we're starting with piece number 1, which is in the middle. The first piece of fabric always starts face down.
Right.
So I'm just going to use a sew line glue pen on the reverse of the pattern.
Yeah.
Ooh, helps if you wind it up. Ooh.
Now, these are $5.95 for the pen, and you get a refill in there as well. And how much glue do we need on this?
Just a stripe.
Okay.
Just a stripe along the back of the pattern piece. And then you can place that on your design.
Exactly where you want it.
Exactly where you want it. And that will hold that in place with your pin. You then need to go to piece number 2.
Okay.
So piece number 1 is ready. We're going to sew on piece number 2. In order to do that, I've got a piece of card.
Right.
Any old piece of card will do. Place that piece of card against the line between number 1 and number 2.
Yeah.
You then fold back against that piece of card and rub it with your finger.
Could you use your ruler for that, or does it have to be a piece of card?
A piece of card, because at the next stage you then place the ruler over the top.
Okay.
And that ruler sits up against that piece of card.
Oh, okay, on the lip.
Yeah.
It all becomes clear.
Yeah,
I've been wondering how
that's what the lip is for.
Okay.
Goes against. You can do it without the card, but I find the card gives you a more definite edge for that to rest up against.
We've got these in a 2-pack as well, so let me show you, because this is the first time that we've shown you these. I didn't know what they do. Oh, it's very clever. So they've got the single one and the double one. We've seen the single one, so let's have a look at the double pack. So you get your 6-inch, but then this one here, you also get that longer 12-inch one as well.
Which is useful when you're making bigger blocks.
Okay.
Because not all foundation paper piecing is small.
Ah, so you're getting your 2 different rulers in there. If I've got to give it in centimetres, bear with me. 5 centimetres by 15, and the other one is 5 centimetres by 30 centimetres.
The important measurement is the length rather than the width.
These aren't like any other rulers I've seen, because I'm going to grab it here. They're sort of, this is your long one here. It's tapered to one side here. So you fold back the foundation, and it's catching on that bit there. So that's what Victoria's just butted up against, is that bit there. It's wide so it's easy to use.
Yes, you've got enough to hold on to, because I've used them before where they're less wide.
Yeah.
And they're okay, but this is actually nice because it's
nice and
got
easy
more
to
space
use.
to put your fingers.
So this is an add a quarter. So that's how you're adding this bit here that you're butting up against. That gives you your quarter
inch seam allowance. So when you've butted up against the side, you then get your rotary cutter, and as usual, you use a downward and away motion to cut off.
So this is much quicker
fabric.
then?
It is relatively quick. Again, it depends on how complex your design is as to how long foundation paper piecing is going to take.
Okay.
So
but with the right kit,
it makes
otherwise
it so
I would
much
be
easier.
trying to level up and work out how to get that extra quarter inch. It would have been a bit of a faff.
Once you've got a more complicated block, you've got lots of little seams, and if you're trying to balance a standard quilting ruler on top, there's room for error because it slips, whereas that gives it space underneath.
Ah, it's always the right tool for the job, isn't it? So in the bundle, you've got 2 for $24.95. So you've got your 12-inch one and your 6-inch one. VDEQ 40. I've never seen these before. Brilliant. So perfect for your foundation paper piecing. That's what these are. That's what these are for.
And
we're starting to see why.
A tool rather than a gadget. It's definitely something that if you're doing foundation paper piecing, it will make the world a difference to what you're doing.
So kind of an essential tool is what we're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so moving on to piece number 2.
Yes.
I've cut out a rectangle that I know is going to be big enough to sit underneath that second piece.
Okay.
You need to be able to fill that piece and have a 1/4 inch all the way around.
Right.
So now, because we've folded that back and we've got a 1/4 inch here, I'm just going to lay that on top of this. If that was a print, not a solid, you would make sure that that print is facing upwards.
So you're doing doing right sides together because you're going to sew and...
We're now going to sew these together through the paper.
Okay.
So just stick a pin in there. And then on the sewing machine, in terms of the thread that you use, I've chosen a beige type colour because there's quite a lot of beige in this. But quite often I'll use a light grey or something with foundation paper
and
piecing.
that light grey will blend, so it just disappears, doesn't it? Yeah. If you've just joined us, welcome, good morning. We are all about the foundation paper piecing. Now, we've done English paper piecing, we've done that, but we've never done your foundation paper piecing today, which means special kit. Yes. And here they are. So this is the very first time that we have ever brought these to wear. This is their premiere outing here on the Sewing Quarter. These are your add a quarter ruler. Now you're getting both of these in this kit. So for $24.95, you're going to get your 12-inch and your 6-inch. These aren't any old ruler. Oh, no, 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 no. Wider for easier handling. You've got... There you go. You can use it for your straight edges and your trimming, but you see, look, this is what this is all about, is your add a quarter seam. So you abut that, as we just saw, onto the card, and then you can trim along there, and that gives you your 1/4 inch. No fuss, no hassle. It's there and it's done, which speeds up your sewing.
Yeah, and gives you better results.
Yeah, that's what we want.
So what I've done now is I've just sewn completely along that line, so it gives you a guide as to where you're sewing.
Do you need to use a separate needle if you're sewing through paper?
No, just refresh your needle once you finish your project before you move on to something else.
Okay.
But what I have done, and what's really important, is reducing your stitch length.
Okay, so tiddly tiny stitches.
Teeny tiny stitches, because it helps with perforating the paper so you can remove it later.
Oh, good thinking.
Otherwise, you'll be there for days
that.
trying to rip out the paper.
Because I suggested earlier, why don't you just use a water-soluble stabiliser, and you said no. Don't do that.
Paper's
good. Paper's the way.
So once I've done that, I'm going to just nip round behind you.
Oh, and then move my rulers out the way. So this is where your Clover mini iron comes in an absolute treat, because it's that tiny bit of pressing there, and it's done.
Yes, and it's done. So you can finger press, but I don't like finger pressing so much because it doesn't give as nice a result.
I don't want to get out a massive iron for this. I've got a big steam iron, and it's just not appropriate for this kind of task.
It's a pain. And when I'm doing paper piecing at home, I tend to have sewing machine here, cutting, iron. All together, so I'm actually moving very little, rather than having it across the other side of the room.
Well,
unless you need exercise, then just space them out.
Unless you've got your pedometer on, in which case you count it towards your steps.
Exactly. So we're just repeating the process.
Do we get to use the ruler again?
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
So
Show
fold
me.
back against the card. We're doing between piece number 1 and number 3 now.
Right.
Because we've done number 2, so we'll move
that
on to number
abuts,
3.
and that's where you're adding a quarter. That's what this ruler is all about. Look how easy that was.
It's given you your 1/4 of an inch seam allowance.
Perfect.
We then line the fabrics up, right sides together.
Yeah.
Again, place them up against, then you know that they're both even and straight. Not everybody pins, but I like to pin.
No, that's fair enough.
And then again, stitch from one end to the other along that line with a small length. Short length.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, bringing you something new and a little bit different. New gadgets and tools. Oh no, I can't call it a gadget. It's a tool.
It's a tool.
So whether you're after one or whether you're after two tools, then here we go. This is the first time ever here on the Sewing Quarter. Oh, let's dance again. So you've got a 6-inch and a 12-inch ruler on here. So for £24.95, you can do your larger projects, you can do your smaller projects. It's all good. I don't like unwieldy things. So if I'm working on a large project, obviously I need that longer ruler. But if I'm working on a little piece like that, I just want that 6-inch.
Yes, much easier.
Hang on. Whoa. Using the other side of the ruler, controversial.
Going to use the other side of the ruler. So once you've got your section completed, and this is the first section, you then just want to trim your pattern along the dotted lines. To take it down in size, because you don't want all this excess that's left. So I've just flipped the ruler over and I'm using this standard edge.
And that edge is still enough that your rotary cutter doesn't slip. It's giving you a good edge to rotor against.
Yes.
I'm going to turn that into
rotor
a verb.
Against.
Yeah. Cut. Yeah, I know, it was dodgy. But if you want to have a good old cut along there, there we go. So that's why you've got the 2 different edges to your ruler. I'm going to go and have a little look at some fabrics.
Lovely.
Because we've got some pretty ones. We're halfway through.
Oh, good grief.
How did that happen? Actually, they're here. Oh, no, let's go and have a look at the solids, because a lot of you have been asking about these. We're using these solids. Ooh, I like this. This is your mocha. Oh. Should I just take this and walk back?
Yes, come back over, and then we can do both at the same time.
I'm taking them both. I'm going to show you this one. This is your mocha. Mocha from Macau. Mocha from Macau you will get for the tiddly tiny sum of £3.25. Half a metre.
They're really good value.
It's great value, isn't it? We had someone email in, thank you very much, the other day, who said that every time she buys from us, she goes onto our page, which is just dedicated to our Spectrum solids, of which this is one, and she just pops a couple of half metres of different colours, so that she's just building up a stash without realising it.
Just sneakily.
Yeah, I like this. It's like a mole, I want to say like a moleskinny kind of a colour. It's that sort of thing, isn't it? I love that, but it's actually mocha. Mocha moleskin is what I'm calling it, from Macau.
So just before you move on to that one, we're just repeating the same thing. So we're moving on to the next block.
Yeah.
Let's just do the next one. Again, putting a piece of glue underneath piece number 1 and putting it on the first fabric.
Okay.
So I'll do that while she
You do that, I'll do this. This is your écru. Ecru basically is like a stony cream, basically. Ecru, but it's got a posh name. This is your Ecru, again, $3.25. This is just a really handy one to have in your stash, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, because sometimes white is a bit too stark.
Too bright.
Because when I was doing the mini quilt for this one, I thought, oh, white would be nice. But actually, when you see the Amy Butler prints, they're not stark white.
No, let me show you that, because let me show you this against the Amy Butler. White would have been too stark, but your Ecru works an absolute treat. And sometimes cream is too yellowy. Or it makes it look yellowy, and that's when you need your Ecru. This is hours and hours as a child spent in various paint shops trying to find the right shade of white for my parents' houses. And that's what it is. But it's really important, and now as an adult, I get it. I absolutely get it. So here we go. That's why this works so beautifully together. And this is it. Because we can... We bring you Ecru, Mocha, and it's all tonally working beautifully with your Amy Butler. We do that for you because it's really difficult for you to do that on your screen of your computer or your tablet or whatever it is that you're working from.
This one goes well as well. I like this one.
Yeah.
And, oh, hold on, no, this one. That's the one. That goes
nicely.
nicely.
Look at that. Nice. So we've done that hard work for you so that it all works a treat. So if you want to make your Amy Butler go further, because this is a thing for me, I'm a bit frugal about that. If I've got something that's beautiful and designer, I want to make it go further. So I'll match it.
Bits.
Yeah, with something like that. So your Amy Butler looks like this. 15 different fat quarters in that bundle. Really rather gorgeous. We like. And there are 15 in there in total. It's good. Really rather gorgeous.
Lovely.
Yes.
Okay, so I've adhered the first colour under number 1. Again, if it was a print, right side down. I'm now putting the card against the line between number 1 and number 2, folding back on the line and trimming.
So butt that again.
Butt that again. Now, when you come
this is
to
why you
put
need
on,
the little ruler.
Yes, yeah. Otherwise, everything's unwieldy and too slippery. The difficulty you get in foundation paper piecing is the triangular pieces. They always sort of mess with your head a little bit. But if you place that up against the straight line, you can see underneath, let's turn that round and see whether that's a little bit more clear. You just make sure that the piece that you're putting underneath will cover the piece that you've got folded back. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's bigger than the size of that triangle under here.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Again, the other thing you can do is hold it up to the light. So if you can't quite see, hold it up to the light and have a look.
That's your top tip today, isn't it?
That is.
Actually, I like your tip of having a Tupperware box with your phone
light coming
light
through.
box. Now, we've added essential tools for you today. Now, a lot of you going for these. I think there are a lot of you out there who already foundation paper piece, but maybe didn't realise. Is it at a quarter? Is that just a stand? Is it a?
Well, because that's what you use in patchwork. Is a quarter of an inch.
Yes.
So I guess that's...
Whether you want one or whether you want two. If you want one, we've got that. If you want two, we've got that. Let's have a look at the two because I think this is great value. You're getting your 12-inch and your 6-inch in there. So when you start to work on larger projects as well, you've got that, which is coming up in the later hour.
Yes, we'll be doing something slightly larger.
11 o'clock, we've got something larger for you. And this is, you can just see there, that's your 6-inch one there. So that's what the 12... Do you want to say what they say? It says, add a quarter plus with its specially designed lip automatically adds the customary quarter-inch seam allowance to any angle. That's the key, isn't it? It's to any angle and provides a straight edge for your rotary cutter. The tapered edge is used as a straight edge for folding back the foundation. And it also explains how to do it, which is great. First time we've done this.
Yeah. And
I'm learning a lot.
Paper piecing is one of those things. Is once you get your head around the fact that the first piece has got to be facing downwards,
yes,
and that you just have to make sure that that fabric that you're choosing is big enough to go underneath your
But you cut it back, don't you?
You do cut it back.
So
and the more you do
it,
the more experience you get in terms of how big that piece needs to be.
Yes.
Because to begin with, I think there's a fair amount of wastage when you're not quite confident with the angular pieces.
We had earlier our 50 Fat Quarter Mates book and lots of different fat quarters. But here's the thing. When I've got a beautiful stash of designer fabrics like the Amy Butler, I want to make sure that every tiddly tiny scrap is used. And that's where this kind of thing is absolutely perfect, because throw nothing away, you can use every scrap. And that's what I love about these art forms, whether you're English paper piecing and using tiddly tiny bits. In fact, we had a discussion about this in the office the other day. Someone was asking what we did with our scraps, if we gave them to charity or what we did. But actually, what we discovered was that all of our designers, because they do things like English paper piecing and things like that, there's no waste.
No.
There's nothing to give away, because actually every tiny scrap of material is used, which is you know, great for us, because you're getting such great value for money. If you can do an art form like this, which busts all your scraps, and so when you get a beautiful fat quarter like this, and you want to use every single section, so use the main part of that for something glorious, a bag or a dress like we made earlier, but those cut off little bits that you're not quite sure what to do with, do this with it.
Yes, and there are some people that organise their scraps into colours.
Oh, I know. I have friends. I have friends.
I have friends.
I have friends. I'm just showing off now.
We're
I have
all your
friends.
friends. Don't worry.
Who actually make their scrap boxes out of the colourways that they then put in. I mean, that's organised.
That's someone with too much time on their hands.
I aspire to be that person that is that organised. Sounds great. Never going to happen for me, but I would love it to be. No, I would love. I feel inspired. So they make their scrap boxes out of the scraps, and they do them by colourway.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful
we have
thing.
here the pre-trimmed block.
Okay.
So it looks a bit messy, and you can see the lines on the other side. So again, I'm just going to trim against those 1/4 inch seam allowance
So we're
lines
just
on the
trimming
outside.
along there?
Yes.
So this is where we spin that ruler around the other way and
trim
use
off.
the other side of it?
Yes. One thing to mention that I didn't mention at the beginning with regards to planning your design, because of the way that you do foundation paper piecing, you need to bear in mind that what you sew will be reversed when it's finished.
How do you mean?
Well, this piece here that I've sewn, number 3, for example, when it's lying down, is on the right-hand side. But when you turn it over, that piece is on the left-hand side.
I see what you mean.
So in something here,
it's like looking in a mirror.
Symmetrical, absolutely fine for something symmetrical, but if not, you just need to bear that in mind when you're planning.
I'm with you.
Most good pattern designers will have reversed the pattern pieces for you, but just read through your instructions and just make sure that you know.
If you just joined us and you're like, what are they making with this bit of paper? What's going on in this newfangled ruler that we've got on the show? We're making this. So we're just showing you how this is your first piece of your foundation paper piecing. Now, you made this into a mini quilt, but lots of different ways to use it. So we've just done a little pincushion with this, again using our Amy Butler fabric, and then fussy cutting from that central bit. So that's the centre bit that we cut out earlier, and you can see, so you've got that edge there. That's that bit basically there, and now we're doing these edge bits along here. So that's where we're up to with this.
Yes, so I've just done that one there. So we've got a top or a bottom, because it's either way.
So that's what we're making at the moment. This is where we're up to. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's nice. Like you said before, it is a bit like a jigsaw, and you see it gradually come together.
It's taken me a while to get my head round it, as anything new does.
Yeah, and
but at 11 o'clock, you're going to show us how to do our own designs, which I think...
Yes, it's
might be
something
one of those things that you go, oh, no, OK, I get it.
I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, and because foundation paper piecing, I think, has got 2 forms. One is pictorial. So you're making a picture of a spool or a chicken, or there's some amazing patterns out there for all sorts of things. Or you're making something more traditional, something that looks more like a traditional quilt book.
I love the eclectic mix that you've gone. You're, you know, foundation paper piecing a spool or a chicken.
A chicken? Well, that's the thing.
Which came first, the spool or the chicken?
Or the chicken. But there are so many designs out there that just things that you can't do with normal patchwork. And if you like chickens, I'm sure there will be a chicken
My producer
pattern.
says that the chicken came first because it's natural, the spool is man-made.
Right, okay.
Just to clarify, if anybody was interested
in case you weren't sure.
Apparently it's quite obvious. Who knew?
Machine's gone slow.
I think we've gone off at a tangent.
No, I'm still doing my job.
You've turned it right the way down to slow.
That's fine.
Is that all right?
Yes, with foundation paper piecing, sometimes people are a little less confident about what they're doing, but you are essentially just sewing in a straight line, so you can go fast if you like.
I've had another idea for this.
Go on.
Now, you say that with trepidation.
I do.
You know when I'm going back to English paper piecing, I'm going back to what I know.
Yes.
Okay, so your English paper piecing, you would have like a hexagon or a shape which is made of paper.
Yes.
Or card. So actually you could take your actual base, because you then do the seam and fold it over.
Yes.
But there's no reason why you couldn't just use your piece of paper, abut it and cut from there, can't you? And you could use that for that.
I take back my laughing. It's a good idea.
Yeah, mock me, it's fine. I'm used to it. But occasionally I come up with a gem. So for £24.95 you're getting two rulers. You're getting a 12-inch ruler and a 6-inch ruler. And this is the brilliance of this. So just imagine that you wanted to cut out... Hang on, let me show you the edge bit. I want to show you there. It's this little bit here that lips. So... For example, when Victoria wants to add a quarter, you see, that piece of card abuts there, and then you cut there, and that is 1/4 of an inch, so it instantly gives you that 1/4 inch. So my idea, if you're English paper piecing, is, say you want to cut out a rectangular shape or whatever, abut it, cut it, abut it, cut it, and then you're cutting out your shape perfectly to go with that.
It's more precise, because sometimes the back of English paper piecing can be a bit bulky. If you've not cut precisely 1/4 of an inch round your hexagon, you've actually got a lot more.
So I've actually come up with a good idea.
You have. You should do a show on that.
I can go and sit down now. That's it, I've peaked. Now, first time on air for these. I love these. They're a bit good, aren't they? Diana, hello, Diana. Oh, please give our customer service team a call. That's our message for you, Diana. But thank you very much for getting in touch. So,
she was telling me to call customer service. I'm thinking, what have I done?
What have I done? It's like being called to the headmasters, isn't it? What have I done? What have you done? So you get 12-inch, 6-inch. Do you need this?
No. Well, look, we have another one.
Oh, we've got another one. Yeah. I just suddenly realised.
And I brought a spare piece of card because I knew you'd steal mine.
And we've barely worked together.
I know.
I can't believe
I know
you
so well already.
You do, it's worrying. So this is quite relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just repeated processes over and over, slowly building up your design. Just remember that short stitch length.
So that's the key, a short stitch length, and remember to stitch onto the paper. So the short stitch length means it's like you're doing that creates the perforation for you to tear your paper off with.
Yeah, it's a stitching line to show where you're going, and then the short stitch length gives you the perforation to come off.
If you are an English paper piecer, is this a natural progression?
It depends how comfortable you are using your sewing machine, because some people are just hand sewing. I like English paper piecing, but I find it too slow.
Okay.
And hard on the fingers because I'm a bit soft.
You're a machine girl, aren't you?
Yeah,
She loves a machine.
I do.
Here we go. Let me show you some of these fabrics that we've got out of the Amy Butler range. So, look at this. Rather gorgeous. This is the one that we've... here we go. So... that's what it's coming at. Now you're getting 15 fat quarters. Amy Butler, of course, is well, she's described as a celebrity fabric designer. Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? And if you have you been at this?
I might have been.
I used that. Look at this beautiful fat quarter, and the mice have been at it. You've been at this one as well.
I have. Can't be trusted.
You can't. Look at this. As me going, look, this is a lovely fat quarter, and you've chewed them. But the beauty of it.
Yep,
and this.
some on that one as well.
Look, she's been at this one as well. I can't.
Just a little bit.
Honestly, I do a 1 hour show, leave you out there by yourself, and you take little nibbles out of all of our fabric. But it just goes to show, doesn't it, that with your foundation paper piecing, you do only need little bits. So this is perfect. You can get your main project out of your fat quarter, and the bits that you've got left over, perfect for this. Let me show you this fabric. Ooh, love this one. This is the sort of fabric that I would just spend hours matching with and go, that bit would go with that bit, and that bit would work with that bit.
That's the only one I didn't cut into, I think.
Really? Have you chewed the rest of them?
Yes, pretty much. So I've used all the spots.
I love this one.
So I've used all the spots in that one.
Yeah, you have. Oh, actually, yeah, let me show you this, because all is forgiven.
Good.
Because you did create a thing of beauty and a joy forever. This could be a little mat to put your sewing machine on.
Yes, or a little wall hanging. People like to make mini quilts as a way of practising new skills and techniques, and for using those lovely pieces of fabric that you can't quite cut into.
Love that. I love that.
Fab, isn't it?
It really is. So you've quilted. Hang on. So we've got your foundation paper piecing, which is how these were created. I love the symmetry of them. But then you've quilted it as well. So we're getting all these different art forms coming together to create things.
Yeah, mini quilts are nice for that because you do practice all your skills but on a smaller scale.
I like. Love this fabric.
Can I quickly, because we're going to run out of time, just show people, because this is the important part of paper piecing, is that you go refer back to your pattern to tell you which pieces go where. More complicated patterns, it is like a jigsaw. Okay. So we need to attach A to the top of B and C to the bottom of B. So you put those right sides together, and what we need to do is make sure, as you can see in the pattern, that we're joining what would be the thread part of the spool to the top part. So it's this little section here that you want to match.
Right.
So what I like to do is I will stick a pin through that junction.
Okay. Now this should work beautifully because we've used our add a quarter ruler.
Yes, and if you've sewn along your line...
So the theory is that therefore this will all match beautifully, because that's why you're using a tool to help you.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it will help you along your way. And then I'll just poke that through to the other side, just to make sure that you're matching up those lines.
So when we've done bag making and things like that, and we want to match those seams, this is how you do it, isn't it, with using your pins?
Yes, I've just poked those through just to make sure, again, on a more complex design, that's more important. And just pin that in place.
With the old Wonder Clips, they come in handy, don't they? Always.
They do. And then we'll just run that under the machine. Again, you're running along that straight line that goes between the section A and section B, this line along here. Okay. You can run from one end to the other, and then we'll repeat the same thing with section C.
The more I see of Wonder Clips, the more I realise just how wonderful they are. We've always got them on the show for you, $7.95.
And I tend to use them in so many different projects.
It's only now I've actually got my hands on some that I realise what I've been missing out on. And I think that's the case with so many items that we bring you on the show. You think, oh, yeah, no, of course, I've always struggled with that. Why didn't I just give that a go?
Yeah, because sometimes, especially in paper piecing, if I try to pin that together, there's a chance that you'll accidentally move what you're doing. Okay, and then we'll press that, but if you open it up, you'll see how
perfect.
The pieces, give that a bit of a finger
press. Now that's we've got if I just show you here, that's your ecru and that's your mocha. Two really handy colours to have in your stash. They are $3.25. Let me just put that there for you.
And I've lost. Oh,
I've got it.
It's
there
not
we
far.
go. $3.25 per half a metre. That's your what colour's that one? Mocha. That's your mocha, and that's your ecru, the creamy colour down the side. Now, the rulers, of course, just to remind you of those, because we are fast running out of time again. And a lot of you going for these. I think a lot of you are quite taken with the idea of some foundation paper piecing.
It's a and you can incorporate it into the rest of your quilting.
Oh, okay. So you could have like a feature panel.
Yes.
Or block.
Yeah.
I like this. I like this. So $24.95, VDEQ 40 for your add a quarter plus. First time we've shown these, very useful it turns out. Nice.
Good tool.
Very nice.
So I'm just going to add the other section on.
Okay. Hey, look, you see, as all good rulers should have, a little slot to hang them up.
Yes,
always store them flat or hang up. Do you want to see what they say? It says on the back, add a quarter plus with its specially designed lip. Specially designed lip, that's that bit there. There you go, that's your specially designed lip there. Automatically adds a customary 1/4 inch seam allowance at any angle and provides a straight edge for your rotary cutter. That's that bit there. The tapered edge is used as a straight edge for folding back the foundation. There we go, perfect. Using the add a quarter plus in foundation piecing, it gives you all of the instructions, and then using the add a quarter plus with templates. Perfect. So brilliant, either which way.
Yes.
So they've already thought of my idea that I thought was a brilliant idea. They've already thought of it.
Don't read the packet, just listen to Natasha.
Read the packet. Talking to people, Janet's been in touch. Thank you very much.
Hi, Janet.
Oh, we've got an image of what she's made.
Oh, let's see.
Let's have a look.
What she made.
Oh, okay, so the computer's just been a bit slow.
We'll have a look at what I've made.
Well, let's have a look at what you've made instead. That's a very good idea. Hey, there we go. Oh, nice. So that's one of your spools?
Yes. And then on the back of the paper, when you're ready, or when you've finished sewing, so I added on a couple of strips, made it a little bit bigger to make the pin cushion. Once you've attached this to the sashing, mini sashing if you like, you then remove the papers on the other side.
So keep that foundation, that sturdiness until you're
finished.
Ready.
And then, because you've done a small stitch, you can see that the paper
just rips out.
Just pulls away.
Satisfying.
What you might need sometimes is, when the pieces are really small, is a pair of tweezers.
Okay.
Just to pull out the little bits. Another tip is you have a spray bottle. You could just moisten the paper just a tiny bit, and that will help you pull out the papers.
I think I'd get a bit overexcited and end up with
You'd
sort of
have to be
papier-mâché.
Yeah. But you can see if you've done a small stitch. Now, if you're worried about, if you're working on a complex block and you're joining the sections together, what you can do is sew together with a long basting stitch first.
Right.
Open it out, check whether it's okay. If it is, sew again with a small stitch, and if it's not, you can then reposition it. Because unpicking these tiny stitches...
You don't want to do that.
You'll be there for days.
No.
It's not great, and the paper too easily perforates.
Yeah.
So suddenly all your paper disappears.
Different art forms. I think it is an art form.
Whole new skill.
Whole new skill. Here now, Janet's been in touch. Have we managed to get this now? She sent us an image, and we've actually managed to get it up.
Oh, hi.
Look at that.
Lovely.
Oh,
Nice.
lovely. So you see, foundation paper piecing. She needs to iron it. She says, "Hey, look."
Oh, that's all right.
You know, we're a friend of the iron here. We understand the need to iron everything. But you see, that's it, isn't it? Beautiful. And that's a completely different look.
Yes.
To this is quite intricate. Lovely.
And more pictorial based, whereas that was more traditional quilting block.
No, that's lovely. Really lovely. It just shows the breadth, doesn't it, of this style. You can. Oh, I think I saw a Christmas tree.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, done out of foundation paper piecing once.
I've seen an amazing elephant and an amazing lion. They're nice.
Would that look a bit like origami? Was it like an origami elephant?
It does feel like origami, actually.
It feels a bit like, because it's basically paper folding but with fabric.
But with fabric in the middle.
Do you need to iron that, or can I just show that?
Yes, you can just show that if you like.
Here we go. So that is, oh, got a thread. Come on, thread. That is the start of your spool. And so you can then make it into that. Ba, 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 ba.
So again, I've just added a little strip across the top, some around the side, and then a 5 by 5 inch square on the side.
Nice.
Made a little mug rug.
Nice. Let me show you the Amy Butler fabrics, because lots of you go, oh, that fabric, it's so beautifully. How do I do that? Well, here. This is another one that well, here we go. You've got all of these 15 different fat quarters. Can I show you some of my favourites? This one is one of my favourites. I love the colours. I love the tones of the colours on here. It's just good, but it's not garish.
No.
It's really not. It's just, there's a warmth to these colours, and I love them. Look at that. So you see, whatever colours you want to pick out from there, you've got, all my favourite colours in there. But then you see, this was another one that you used.
Look, here it is. Almost.
Let me just show you a strip of it. It's really rather lovely. I'm not leaving you alone at all. And then these, but they've also got all of the spots in this bundle as well. Absolutely beautiful. So if you're grabbing your Amy Butler fabrics, $64.95 gets you 15 different fat quarters. XPRW56. That's the fabric that we've used all this hour. But of course, we've also used the brand new rulers that we've got on the show for you today. First time that they've been out for an airing. And here they are. So if you want to get your 12-inch and your 6-inch bundle, then they are $24.95. They are on the website. So take a look. Underwear, we're live. Underneath there, they're all on there. Or if you're just going for one, then we've got those on the website as well. Or just give us a call, 0800 112 4433. Just give us a call, and then you know that you're getting exactly what you want. And it's free to call, UK phone number. Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's all right. I hope
That's
you've learned
really
something
lovely.
new today.
No, I
inspired
really
you to do something different.
Absolutely.
Good.
You're going to be back at 11, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to do still foundation paper piecing, but more traditional quilt block, and showing how you might like to think about designing your own.
So is this going to be a bit more like Janet's one that she showed us?
I'm not sure I missed that one.
The one that we saw on the screen.
Oh, right. Yes. More like that.
There you go.
Sorry, Janet.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I will see you in an hour.
See you in an hour.
But next up, Jenniffer Taylor's here. Oh yes, fabric baskets. Coming up in just one moment. Grab a cup of tea and join us. See you in a moment.
Join us on Facebook. Simply search for The Sewing Quarter and like our page for the latest news and more. There are many ways you can watch Sewing Quarter. We are live every day on Freeview Channel 78 and online at sewingquarter.com from 8 a.m. till 12 noon. But if you've missed a show, don't worry. There are two easy ways to catch up. The first is through our website, www.sewingquarter.com, where we repeat that morning's shows throughout the day. On the homepage, you'll see our video stream. Click on the video to hear sound and see a list of the products that we have shown in that day's shows. The second way to catch up is on our YouTube channel. All our shows are kept on YouTube, so if you buy a product and want to see the demonstration again, you can. Go to www.youtube.com/Sewing Quarter, where you'll find all our shows listed by date. Select your preferred date, then, using the description beneath the video, jump to the hour you want to watch. Then you can pause, rewind, play and skip your way to the bits that you want to watch again. Only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
There are many different ways you can buy from us here at the Sewing Quarter. You can order from us by calling our free phone number at 0800 112 4433 and talk to the team at our UK-based call centre. Alternatively, there are other ways you can buy from us. You can go online and shop through our website at www.sewingquarter.com. You can even watch the show there and shop as you go. You can check out as many times as you like throughout the day and only pay a small fee of £2.95 postage and packaging for the whole day. We also offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all products excluding custom-cut fabric. Our friendly UK-based team will help guide you through every step.
Join us on Saturday the 8th of April when Mandy Shaw will be back to showcase her wonderful range of kits and projects. Mandy has pulled out all the stops to bring a brand new range of inspirational kits and her best-selling Stitch with Love book packed full of projects and guides. So join Mandy Shaw on Saturday the 8th of April at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
We've got something a little bit different for you this hour, and it involves these. No, they're not big earrings, although they could be. They are, of course, your embroidery hoops, but we're going to put them to a different use. So, of course, yes, you can use them for your embroidery, but imagine the scene, if you will, because I know this happens for me. Sewing away, cut off a little bit here, bit of a dog ear here, trim, 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 it goes all over the floor. So now you can make yourself a nice little basket to just pop everything in. So just attach it onto your desk, and then, or you know, you can have it and keep all of your goodies, so your scissors and your rotary cutter all close to hand, or maybe you want to stuff it full of fat quarters. Basically, we're looking at storage, but we've put it in a bundle for you, so you can make 3. Can we show this over here? Can I? Let's have a look at, oh, there we go. So this is the bundle that you're getting, and I'll show you what we're going to be making with it in just a moment. So £24.95 gets you, and this is the joy, 1/2 metre of your Tanya Whelan yellow with aqua spot. So this is your Tanya Whelan fabric. Oh, fresh and zesty, just in time for spring. Wouldn't these make, actually, lovely baskets for you to have Easter egg hunts with? Yes! It's this beautiful fabric. Well, we've got choices for you. This is the Tanya Whelan ticking fabric. This is out of the Lola range, GPGC08, but we have teamed it because it's got that beautiful aqua colour running through it. Well, yeah, you're going to need a lining. Let's give you some aqua to line that with, and let's do it in a polka spot. That's how we roll. Look at that, another 1/2 metre of that. So you're getting a full metre of fabric in this, plus you'll get it, we'll get onto the ribbon in a minute, but you're also getting 3 of your embroidery hoops. Nice. And so the embroidery hoops are 15 centimetres in diameter. So you get your metre, 1/2 metre of your Tanya Whelan and 1/2 metre of your spot. You get 3 embroidery hoops, but then you get, look at this, your really pretty ribbon as well. So in that lovely red, which again is found in that fabric, and you're getting all of that. So 5 metres of that. That is your yellow option, £24.95. Makes you 3 of these, which we're going to show you in a moment. Now let me show you the blue. Look at this. So again, 1/2 metre of your Tanya Whelan. Look at that. Now this will be a fabric that you'll recognise. Tanya Whelan is such a prolific designer. You'll see her in all the magazines, but you'll also see her in lots of paper crafting as well. So you'll see her design in beautiful cards, in stationery, all those sorts of things. Because it's such a pretty design, it's not only just in fabric, it gets used in your paper crafting as well. So a very noticeable design because it's a very recognisable one. So we've bundled it today again with, oh, let me show you, with again 1/2 metre of your polka dot as well, and you get your 3 hoops And you're also, with this one, you get a different ribbon. But again, picking out that red that's in the fabric. And you get 5 meters of that. EHGC 48. Now, the inspiration for the hoops that we're making, the hoop baskets, came out of this book, which is You're So Useful by Debbie Shaw. And it's, let me find it for you in here. It's, I had it a second ago. I will show you, but basically, in Your So Useful book, you've got 23 storage solutions. If you're like me, storage is always an issue, and I'm always going to be tidier. So, Debbie Shaw, for under £10, giving you 23 different designs, beautiful ideas, gives you basic techniques, useful stitches. So if you're a beginner, absolutely perfect. And then look, you can do your caddies, you can do all sorts in here. But what we've chosen, and I will get to it in just a moment. So there's something for all levels here as well, which I like. Oh, there's your iron storage. Here we go. So these are all Debbie Shaw designs. There you go. Even, there you go, to store your toilet roll. And it's just coming up. Here we go. This is what we're making, your hoop basket. So that's your hoop basket. These are what we're making. That's why we've given you 3 hoops. There we go. So, this is the idea. I know that you will have had a look through the book, gone, I want to make that, absolutely want to make that, and then not had the ingredients.
Exactly.
It's like looking through a recipe book. It's so annoying. You see the food you want to make, but you don't have the cream, or you don't have the paprika. So now, when you get your book, and you go, oh yeah, no, I want to make these hoopy things.
They're cute and they're so
really
useful.
Really cute, aren't they? Incredibly useful. I'm thinking my cosmetics. I'm thinking, you know, my cotton buds and things like that.
Absolutely. Not just for the sewing room. Bathrooms, bedrooms.
Kids' rooms.
Yeah.
Here they are, over here. So we've got a couple here. And you can tie them onto anything. You can tie them onto the back of the door. You can tie them anyway. So the Tanya Whelan fabric here, very beautiful. We've stuffed these full of fat quarters. There's, you know, and then look at the edging here. That's where your ribbon comes in. But again, we were thinking, have them as a tidy. Pop your scissors in, your rotary cutter, have your rulers in there. There's plenty of room. We've stuffed bits in underneath to lift the fat quarters so you can see those out. But actually, there's a great depth to those.
There's a really big depth, yeah.
I really like the idea, probably because it was my own, of having them so just attached to your desk, so that you have it as a desk tidy. So all those little bits that you chop off and all those threads that you snip off, you've got somewhere to put them. Because I don't know about you, my Hoover complains a lot about...
Well, I'm finding that on my sewing chair, I've got wheels on them so I can scoot around, and it's getting trapped in the wheels, and my wheels don't run anymore. So I need a little thread catcher,
and that's what I think these are really useful for. Teenage tidy ups. And in this beautiful fabric as well. It's zesty, it's vibrant, but I also think before you start using it for that, and of course you can put your yarns and everything else in there, I think have your Easter egg hunt with them first.
Oh no, yeah. That's so cute. We thought that this morning. We've got a chocolate on the brain this morning.
Always.
We're hungry.
I make no apologies for that. We're going with the blue today.
We're going with the blue, so I did my samples in the beautiful sunshine yellow that you mentioned earlier. It's gorgeous. It just pops, doesn't it, that yellow? It's really, really lovely. So I thought I'd go with the blue today. But there's enough fabric in our little kits that you can make 3 out of them. And you've actually got some left over.
Have you?
Yeah, yeah.
Gosh.
So there's plenty. Everything you need is in there. So think of something else to do with the bits left over. Go in the book. Go and have a fish in the book. But I really like it. I mean, it's so useful. It is really so useful. There's lots in there, lots of inspiration in there, and not just for the sewing room.
We're giving you the hoops so that you can get straight on with the projects in the book. That's the joy of it. Not just 1, but 3 hoops.
Yep.
Everything that you need.
We wanted to give you, because it came in a trio, didn't it?
It did.
And you always need more than 1 hoop. Well, I know I do. So in my sewing room, what I was thinking is rather than getting a pole and tying it, get just some of those hooks that you can get. You know, the metal hooks, you can just pop that in, and then you can hook them, like I say, at the side of the table.
Nice.
Get your thread catchers there. But I find just having something to put my scissors in, or my rotary cutter, or, like you say, the little bits and bobs that you have.
I sew at a desk, and the drawers have got I've got little handles that I can just tie onto. Yeah, it's going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. So that's how I'm going to use mine. Where do we start?
Okay, so in the instructions, which we'll get through here, I really like. I mean, Debbie Shaw's books are great anyway, but her instructions are really, really nice and clear. So it's telling you what you need to do to make one basket.
The thing that I love about these are the photographic instructions. Now, Debbie and her husband, they make a brilliant team because it's actually her husband that does all the photography.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
So, she can make him retake the photos as often as she needs. So you know that you're going to get exactly the right photography that you need to show you step by step. So the word's backed up by that photograph. So however you learn, if you're a visual learner, which many of us are, you've got that, but you've also got the written word there as well. So however you like to work, I'm always happy to have.
I like the pictures.
Yeah.
It's all about the pictures. And for me, actually, it's all about the photography, because if I can see what it would look like in real life, I mean, don't get me wrong, like illustrations are good sometimes, but I find it, looking at it as if it's real, i.e. that photo, it is real, it is fabric, your hands are there, I know what I'm doing, I know what it looks like.
£9.95, under £10 for your Debbie Shaw book. Now. We've had messages in. Thank you ever so much.
I thought you were going to throw me another curveball.
Well, no, we've had pictures. I'm just hearing now. Producer Paul saying we've got pictures. Oh, look what Sandra's made.
Yay!
Hey, this is from Debbie Shaw's book.
She's got chocolate in it. Good
girl. Good work. Oh yeah. So if we spun that around, that's hanging up in her kitchen. That's a secret chocolate stash.
I like that.
Good job.
On the hook.
Oh, I love this on the hook. Oh, yeah, because you can extend these. Now, I'm going to show a little... Yeah, this is out of the book as well. This is kind of an extension of this. You just have wider material in between.
And then you can have pockets in the bottom.
All of your rolls of wrapping paper.
Trimming.
Perfect.
Right.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
It just goes to show, doesn't it, that you've got the book, you've loved it, and gone, I need to make these.
Definitely.
We're trying to make it easy for you. Grab the kit and then you are good to go. All coordinating, all beautiful, zesty, spring-like fabrics. It's a good feel to it.
Favourite time of the year.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay, so I've gone ahead and cut out my fabric. So I've done enough for one basket. So I'm going to walk you through one basket today. Okay, so the first thing you need to be doing is bringing the two sides together along the longest side first. Okay. So that's the first thing. And then we're going to sew that together using a straight stitch. I believe it's 1/4 inch, but would you mind just checking that for me? I've got the other pattern in my head.
I can just, here we go, sew the top of the outer fabric onto the top and press. We are looking at
1/4 inch.
1/4 inch. Yeah, here we go.
1/4 inch.
Yeah, 1/4 inch seam allowance.
There we go.
We don't have a huge stock of the book, so if you're after this as a project, then please do grab it. You've got 23 different designs in there as well for under £10, just £9.95. It is indeed so useful. If you have never come across Debbie Shaw before, she is a lovely, lovely lady. Years and years and years in the industry as dressmaking, I believe, is how she started out. But just the way her mind works, it just puts patterns together brilliantly to come up with all of these inspirational ideas. And that woman does not stop.
No, she really doesn't. Oh, right, in saying that she used to be a weather lady.
She
used to be television first, but then she wanted to fulfil her dream in craft. Am I making that up?
No, she was a mainstream something or another. I'm not sure if it was weather or what it was. I thought it was.
I'm just making
TV.
it up. I'm
very
sorry.
TV.
Oh, maybe that's what it is then. I am so sorry,
no,
Debbie.
That's right.
I know Debbie as well. I'm really sorry if I've got that wrong. But
we're going to find out.
My point is that she was like, no, I want to do what I love, and this is exactly what you said. She's been doing it for years.
Right, it was children's TV.
It's TV, sorry.
Yeah. Well, no, she should be very good as a weather lady.
She'd be great.
Well, she's very glamorous, isn't she?
And
weather ladies are always very
glamorous. So glamorous.
So that would work.
Okay, so I've pressed my seam open, and now we're going to start creating our hoop, okay? Or our, not hoop, our pocket, if you like. It's always about a pocket. Two pieces together. So we want to make sure that we're bringing these two seams together. So we don't want to be placing them like that.
You don't want a squiffy seam.
We don't want a squiffy seam, so we do want those in the right place. So I'm going to place a pin through the seams here just to make sure that I am getting it in the right place. Okay, and then I'm going to continue then down the other side. So this is almost like you're making a big tube. So we're doing the lining and the main fabric in one.
Oh,
Is that the question you're going to ask?
No, my question was going to be,
Yeah.
how much easier does it make your life when we just send you a great big bundle of stuff and go, it's all there, get going?
Well, you know that I'm all about getting everybody sewing. And the thing, what you don't want is stumbling blocks, do you? You don't want well, I haven't got that. It's exactly what you said about cooking. There's the worst thing in it, I've forgotten to get whatever herb and then it just doesn't taste right or whatever. I want you to be able to have everything you need to get going. Time is limited. I mean, how much time do people have spare? So when you do dedicate that hour or half an hour, or if you're lucky to get a day, you want to just get on with it, don't you? The last thing you want to go is
results. That's it. It's about getting the results.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Hence why we thought, right, there's a half a metre of each of the fabrics, main and your lining, and there's your hoops and everything you need. Get on with it. Get on with it.
This is the big old bundle. So you're getting a half metre of each of those fabrics. You're getting 3 hoops and you're also getting a very, very pretty ribbon.
It's
beautiful ribbon, isn't it?
It goes really lovely with the print.
That's the blue option. That's the one that we're working with today. But the ones that we've got made up, you can see. In fact, can I undo one of these? I'm a little bit worried about. There we go. Here we go. Let me show you. So, this is what we're making. This is your yellow option, so you can see what the yellow option would look. Let me take out
the bump.
Yellow, most popular at the moment.
It's so summery. It's
Stuffed
gorgeous.
it with all sorts in there. So this is, you can see how the lining works. So this is what you're doing, isn't it? You're doing the lining.
Sewing the lining and the main all together in a wanna.
I love this. Sandra's messaged in. Thank you, Sandra. Debbie was in Brookside as well.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Zippy's girlfriend in Rainbow.
She never was.
Kids TV presenter, yeah.
God, I used to love Rainbow. I'm just going to zigzag this while you're talking. Really?
Yeah, she's reeling from the revelation. Oh, yeah, she's lived a life as our Debbie. Yeah.
Amazing.
No.
I didn't realise.
And now, I'm not doing a Zippy impression. I've just been asked to do a Zippy impression. I can't remember how Zippy used to talk.
No.
He had like a... Didn't he have sort of a piratey type laugh?
Isn't it?
Zippy and Bungle, wasn't it?
It was Zippy and Bungle. I can't think.
And it was Jeffrey.
Ow. That was Jeffrey,
like that?
yeah.
Was that Jeffrey?
Yes.
No,
Zippy.
Jeffrey was the bear.
Oh, well, who was the hippopotamus?
George.
George.
No, hang on. Which one was which?
Oh, God.
Jeffrey was, I'm right, Jeffrey was
Jeffrey.
the bear. No, hang on, Bungle was the bear. No, which one is Bungle?
Oh, my gosh.
No. Oh, Jeffrey was the man. Bungle was the bear.
Can we just rewind that whole section just for a moment?
If you can, I was very young
Can you
when
please email in and put her out of misery? Please.
Okay. I can remember Zippy because he had the great big zip. George wasn't George the pink hippo? Was there a pink hippo?
Yes.
George was the pink hippo.
Yes.
Bungle must have been the bear. Yeah. Email in if you know, because we've
Can you just
forgotten.
find out?
Yeah.
Paul.
Are we dancing?
Please.
Yeah, producer Paul, you've got search engines.
Sort it out.
Oh, he says he's got a job to do.
Oh, he's got more important things to do. No, this is important. We cannot move on until we figure out what is going on. Okay, well, viewers, please put us out of our misery. Please.
What are we doing now?
Okay, so I've just zigzagged my...
Why have you zigzagged? Didn't you do a straight stitch first?
I did a straight stitch first,
yeah,
and then I zigzagged my raw edges. Because it's a 1/4 inch, it's just the dressmaker in me, I can't help it, because it's only a 1/4 inch and it's going to be a bag and I want to stuff it with things. I want to make sure it's super...
Chocolate.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot of chocolate. So I want to just, give some strength to that seam. So I've sewn it together again, but this time with the zigzag. So it's almost like an overlock.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
And so it's not going to fray.
No,
nice.
Not going to fray. So it's just keeping it all together. I mean, it's lined anyway, so there's 2 layers of fabric, so it would be super sturdy. But it's just Belt and braces, belt and braces.
And that professional finish.
Professional finish. Okay, so what I think is a really good tip here, and it's not in the book, but I think it's worth giving it a press while it's like this, and there's a reason for it in a second, because it's a way of marking your fabric temporarily while you do the next step. Okay. So make sure your seam is nice and flat, which it is. Give it a nice press, so you're putting a crease down the opposite side of the fabric, paying attention definitely to the ends here and here. Okay, that's the most important thing. Like I say, this isn't in the book, but I think it's a nice step.
Now you're working with the blue, so we'll put the blue details back up on the screen for you any second, so that you can choose.
You can choose.
Yellow or blue, yellow or blue.
Yellow or blue. Okay, so once we've got our creases, so now you can see that you've got 2 points of reference. You've got your seam side, and then you've got the crease side that I've just created with
Which is
the iron. Halfway. Yeah. So now you want to open your tube out and bring that seam to that crease mark.
Oh, so that's marking it halfway without having to measure it.
Without having to measure it or do any clips or anything. So
Bit of a cheat.
Bit of a cheat.
I like.
It's just nice because you're pressing anyway, so you might as well just do it with the iron. So again, I'm doing the same thing again, but this time I'm creating 2 creases in the other corner, so I'm quartering it, okay? Now I would really give this a nice press because it will help you again in the next step. So I'm going to do that side, and I'm going to repeat it again on the other side.
Okay.
All right.
So ironing it the first way gives you that halfway
point of reference, that's right.
And then you match those up and then iron
and
flat
then iron the 2 corners here, so you've quartered it. So there's your half, and then that's your quarter.
Nice.
Okay, so just make sure that they're together. So then this way you know your tube's not going to start twisting.
Okay.
All right, okay.
This is very clever.
It's very clever. So again, another thing to point out, just watch that iron there, my darling. I've pressed my seam to my right side, so I'm going to repeat that on that side. So again, you don't want that going that way either.
It's going to give you a twist.
Again, it's going to give you a twist. So make sure you're pressing your seams all in the same direction. Okay.
Whilst you're pressing,
you
I'm going to go and have a look at these beautiful fabrics. I love these. Now, for each of these kits, you get 1/2 metre of your Tanya Whelan, and 1/2 metre of your polka dot. So this is your Tanya Whelan. This is her ticking. This is out of the Lola range, which is the rose design. But this is the ticking. Of course, ticking is just your stripes, really, and it's just a different twist on that ticking, and very, very pretty, very feminine, very floral, but spring-like, but with that fresh twist of having that stripe going through it. So we've given you 1/2 metre of that, 1/2 metre of your polka dot, which works beautifully with it, and then, so there's your polka dot, 3 hoops, 15 centimetre embroidery hoops. So they're not too big, they're just the perfect size. Because that's the other thing. If we hadn't have bundled it for you, you'd have had to have sourced them and, you know, maybe got the right size, maybe not. These are a lovely wooden finish, so they've already got that classy finish to them. Just beautifully, well, you know, some wood is a little bit rough, but this is beautifully smooth, and this is your embroidery hoop. Now, there's nothing to stop you from using it as an embroidery hoop, but the part of the kit for today is to make these hoop baskets. And then we've teamed a red accented ribbon with this whole kit, which will hide the edge there. It will give that accent. You can see within the material. I mean, if I show you along the selvage, you can see all these different colours there. So we picked for you that red, which goes with number 1. And that's what we do for you. We pick out the colours just to work. And it does. It really works. That's your blue, but maybe you want to go for the yellow, in which case, yellow's most popular at the moment. Well, you know, it's kind of Eastery, I think. I'm really quite dedicated to the fact that these should be used for Easter egg hunts first and then put to storage afterwards. I love this colour. Look at it. It's so fresh. And again, because this is your Tanya Whelan fabric, it's a designer fabric, and it is beautiful to use. It's a nice tight weave cotton, 100% cotton, and so you can wash it first if you want to, get any shrinkage out if you want. But to be honest, it's just a beautiful fabric to work with. Absolutely lovely. That is the most popular, and I'm not surprised. And so we've picked out of that aqua colour in there and matched it with the spots. I love actually how these two colours go together so beautifully. It complements each other, an absolute treat. And I always love having a floral with a polka dot. It's kind of classic, and I think it really works. Again, you've got your 3 hoops, but then with this one, you've got a little ginghamy check for your thread. So it's keeping it kind of country casual with this, ever so pretty. And again, it's coming, that's where that red has come from within that fabric there. So you know that the colours are really going to go. $24.95 gets you all of this. So you can make 3 of the hoop baskets. GPGC08. Now the book that we've got for, well, here we go. This is where the inspiration came from. Let me have a look on that page for you. Is it there? It's just, there we go. Now you see there's no reason. You get enough material for 3 and some left over. So you could do one with the polka dot on the outside, one with the ticking on the outside, but we just saw this and thought actually this fabric combination is perfect for those. We don't have an awful lot of these books left, so if you want the inspiration, you've got 23 different inspirational storage ideas here from Debbie Shaw. As we've discovered today, off of Brookside and Rainbow. Yeah. Which is brilliant. That makes me smile. So there we go. All of that for under £10. ALSP 89. Grab it while we've got it because we don't have too many of those. Now, Jenniffer, where are we at?
Not very far. Wanted to wait for you.
Oh.
Okay, so just let me flip it over so it makes sense your side. So we sewed the length of that together. I've then gone in and then sewn the edges together. So you can see I've gone straight across on that one there.
Right, yeah.
I'll just wait for you. So I've gone straight across, but on this side, I've gone part way and made sure I've done a reverse, left a gap, and then done the same on the other side. So again, making sure that my seam allowance is consistent across there using...
I spy some bagging out.
We've got a little bagging out, but before we bag out, we need to create a base for our bag. Okay, so we could just bag it out, but then you'd have a very square, thin bottom. Whereas if you notice on our bags, we have a little gusset. Oh. So we're going to be putting in, they're actually darts, so we're going to be putting in some darts. So how you would do that, if I go with this side first, again, this is where our little trick with making sure that the press was in before we did this section, because when you open out your fabric, so I'm getting both edges, and I'm going to manipulate that. Can you see the crease there in the centre of my fabric? I'm making sure that lines up with the underside where I can feel where that stitch line is on the back side, okay? So you want to make sure that that you've opened out your fabric, that there isn't any creases in these corners at all, and that your crease mark is in line with your stitch line on the very back.
So you line the two up. So we keep using this crease as a point of reference.
As a point of reference, that's right.
Very clever.
Okay, so then what you would then do is go into the sewing machine and sew across that triangle.
Nice.
So if I bring that up there for you. So you're going to sew across here like that. So how wide you want your base is entirely up to you. So it says 3 inches in there, but I actually wanted mine a little bit thinner. So I've actually used, and also there's a guide on the sewing machine, so I think I used the edge, which I think is about 3 centimetres, which is an inch and a half, I think. So you can play around with how deep or if you wanted more boxy, squarey, then obviously you can play around with that. But in the instructions, it does say 3 inches. Okay. But all I'm going to be doing is sewing that along there first to create that square. Right. So if I do that first, then I'll be able to show you what I'm doing.
Excellent. So you're getting enough for 3 of these hoop baskets, and this is what we're making. I think for me, I like to give slightly different gifts at Easter. So for me, I would maybe fill these with eggs and give these as
a gift.
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Well, no, because then once you've eaten, there's nothing worse, is there? Than you eat all your chocolate and then you're left with nothing. But now you've got a nice gift at the end of it to put your cosmetics in. I would, you see, I'm not sure whether or not I would put sort of yarns and things, have it as a handy storage thing. But in the bathroom, there's never anywhere to put all your cotton wool balls and things like that.
Well, yeah, definitely. Or your hairbrushes or your straighteners. There's so many...
Hair bobbles, hairbrush,
Everything.
all in there, ready to go.
Yep. You could even put the hairdryer in there.
I've had another idea. If you lined it with Insole Bright,
yes,
then you could put your hairdryer in when it was still warm. You pop it in.
Well, you could put your straighteners in there while you're doing your hair. Because I always find that it always falls off the table and all of that jazz.
So lots of ways in which you can make these. Lots of messages from you. Thank you. Terry, thank you very much. Marie, thank you for getting involved. Debbie, oh.
Is it the Debbie?
Is it the Debbie? The Debbie? Okay. No, it's another Debbie. There is more than one Debbie. Yeah.
Oh.
Who else has been in touch? Kay, Patricia, Sandra.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
thank you.
So, my next question for you at home is, what would you use yours for? It's a bit like, that's what I want to know. What are you going to use yours to?
Yeah, I want to know. Well, it's all about inspiration. Because what I would use it for would be different to what you would use it for.
We've put fat quarters in one of ours.
I think we were very boring with our option of fat quarters. We could have done so much more creative things with our basket.
We didn't have chocolate eggs. Well, that's as creative as I get right now, because I keep thinking about Easter.
But seriously,
we've teamed the Aqua Spot with your Tanya Whelan fabric. I love what you've done there, where you've used one of the stripes as a border around there. Very pretty fabric, very feminine fabric.
It is, it's lovely.
Tanya Whelan is one of those designers that even if you've not known the name, you will have seen. You'll have seen her because she's been on the front cover of magazines, her fabric. You know, you will have been...
You'll know her fabric.
Yeah, no, you will. And so it's one of those ones that when you see, you sort of feel like you've come home. You go, oh yeah. You know,
I know that.
Yeah. Comfortable with that because it's very, very beautiful. This just reminds me of picnics and summer days. It's, well, you know. Ooh.
Another idea?
Yeah. I'm thinking again, if you put your Insole Bright, then you've got a wine cooler.
That's a good
Just
idea.
a thought.
Just a thought.
Just a thought.
Okay, well, while you're thinking of new and other interesting ways of using your hoop basket, I'm just going to recap what we've done. So I can see I've stitched across the edge of my triangle there. Yeah. Okay, so once you've done that, you can actually cut that off. Okay, so that's that done. So I'm just going to repeat that now on all the other four corners. So I'm going to go...
All of it. Okay, so the lining
and the lining,
well.
Everything's again. So you just need to make sure that whatever measurement you're going to go with, depending on how you want your base to be, make sure you're consistent across all of those four corners. Otherwise, it's not going to work when you get to the next step.
Marie's had a brilliant idea. She's going to put her remote control in it.
That's a good idea.
I'm so with you. Every morning when I go downstairs, do a little bit of yoga before I come to work, and I can never find the remote because hubby's last one to bed at night, and the remote could be anywhere, or invariably Freddie's put it somewhere. Could be anywhere, anywhere the train track or somewhere. Kay would hide snacks. Kay, I'm with you with that. Girl after my own heart there.
Yes, I love that.
Snacks.
Hide
but then actually, one of the photos that we had, just Paul, who was it that sent in the photo of it with snacks in the kitchen? Was that Sandra? Who was it? It was Sandra. Yeah, you see, Sandra's with us as well on the snack basket. Yeah,
I'm feeling the snack love today.
Yeah. Now you see, this is the thing, isn't it? Because when you are working hard in your sewing room, then you do need to keep your strength up. So yeah, you should have a snack basket.
Look at you justifying it. I love it.
The inspiration for the project came out of Debbie Shaw's So Useful book. And to be honest, if it's keeping me snack happy, then that's useful.
One for your scissors, one for your snacks.
Yeah.
Love it.
23 different designs in here for under £10.
Bargain.
It is, isn't it? Everything to keep the home neat, tidy and beautifully styled. I love this actually. You've got the drawer divider.
That's handy.
It's very handy, isn't it? She's thought of everything. As our Debbie. Yeah. I love this as well for your laundry with your applique pieces on there.
That's cute, isn't it?
You've got an iron cabbie. You've got a garden. Oh, look at the shoe bag.
Nice.
I like. It takes you through your basic tools, your useful stitches, chair back caddy. I keep saying
that's a good idea.
I want this for the back of my passenger seat so that Freddie can keep all his many paraphernalia that we need, because my parents live down in Cornwall.
Oh gosh, that's a long drive.
It is, and a chap's got to be entertained all that way.
Got to be entertained.
You can't sleep all the way.
Can adults have one as well?
I'd quite like it.
With snacks in.
Yeah. Yeah, I do try and make him run around the garden a lot before I put him in the car, so he will sleep for as long as possible. Yeah, make him take for a very long dog walk. I love these. Actually, your Tanya Whelan fabric would look beautiful with the storage cube as well. Oh, I like.
Very nice.
Really pretty. Well, now what's this? This is your toy bag.
That's
one
cool.
of those as well. Yeah. Also, oh look, there's your straighteners. Straightener holder.
It's a really useful book. I know it's like that's the title of it, and it's like, oh, that's so like, but it is. It's really useful.
I need to make my mum one of those. Maybe I should
lovely
make...
gifts, don't they?
Yeah, they really do. Let's find what we're making. This is what we're making. There you go. Perfect.
I think we've brought two really lovely books to you today, I think. With the So Useful book and the 50 Fat Quarter Makes. It's all about those little project, inspiring, quick, lovely projects that you can do with the stashes and the kits that we provide you.
This is going to bring you a splash of colour and organisation, whether it's in your bedroom, your bathroom, your kitchen, wherever it is. Well, I love the idea of it for the remote controls.
That's a great idea.
Well, you could have one for your remote controls, one for your snacks. What are you going to put in the third?
Crafty bits for when you're crafting.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
You know, watch the telly while you're crafting.
So there must be a way that you could then hang it over the edge of your chair.
I'm sure we can make a way.
Yeah. So in the bundle, you get everything that you need to make 3, which is brilliant. Yellow most popular so far, $24.95. GPGC 08. 3 hoops, half metre of your Tanya Whelan, half metre of your Aqua Spot, and your beautiful ribbon. Where are we up to? Jenniffer Taylor.
Okay, so now we have a tube-like shape that doesn't look like quite a bag at the moment. So what I need to do now is push my lining. So I'm using my the polka dot as a lining. The reason why I know it's lining because that's where I left the hole to be able to pull it out.
When do you sew that up?
In a minute.
Okay.
All right, so all you need to do is push this into your other fabric. And you remember the sort of gusset areas that we've just sewn, those triangle areas?
Yeah.
What I would do is pop your fingers, if I just bring it out so I can show you what I mean. If you pop your fingers into that area there and then push them into the other areas, into the other fabric. Then
so gusset to gusset?
Gusset to gusset. It just makes sure that it fits nicely. So I can do that in here, but you're not going to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay. So you can see it like that.
All right.
Yep. So you know that fits, and then just repeat that on the other side.
And it is the perfect fit, isn't it? I mean, it's all... The way that these come together, it's perfect, isn't it? It's very satisfying,
Well, I think people like to... The tendency is to put the area that you pull through in that hemline, and you don't really want to see it, because then when you do your hand sewing, especially if you're not super neat, then you're going to see it. Whereas if it's at the very bottom of your bag...
You'll have snacks on top of it.
Yeah, you'll have snacks on top of it, so you're not going to see it anyway. So in essence, there's our bag ready to be attached to our hoop. Now, when I first did this, I was thinking, that's not going to hold anything, but we've proven you can get a lot in there and it holds the weight. It really doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got your 2 hoops, so it's the one without the clasp that you need, first of all, and that's going to go over your bag.
This is why it's important, isn't it, to follow the instructions in the book to make sure that you then get the right circumference.
That's right. Oh, it fits. I had a moment of,
But this looks quite easy to do.
It is super easy. So once that's done, then you then take the remainder of your hoop. So I like to put the clasp where the centre back seam is there, because you don't really want to see that, do you, on the front? So there's the back seam there. So I'm putting that where the clasp is on the hoop, and then you just attach it. So I might need to just release that a little bit more. It's amazing how much grip you get on them. I mean, I know you use them obviously for your embroidery at home. Oh, I've pulled through a bit too much on that side. But they really do hold the fabric.
A lot of you agreeing with us, treats. Marie's going to put treats in there.
It's all about the treats.
Doggy treats in there.
That's very good.
Then they're always ready. Yeah.
In fact, this would be, I know it sounds, because of the hoop, That'd be a nice one to have on your belt. You could make it into an attachment, so then it's always
got it there for your dog training requirements.
With your horses, you can have your apple in there, some oats
That would end up being a nose bag.
It's true. Get a bigger hoop. Get a bigger hoop.
I just look like I had a horse attachment because they just have their nose in there.
That's true.
If you're going to do it as a nose bag.
The hoops do not come with a horse, just so you know, just to make that clear.
But actually, yeah, no. When I'm dog training, you do need to have the treats there ready.
Because you don't want to be fighting with your bag, do you? You can just get it straight away.
Bathroom tidy as well, Tracy said as well. So, yeah, it is. That's what it's lending itself to, isn't it? Is this going to be perfect for teenagers as well? Tidy up there. Anything that helps tidy up.
Everybody and everybody. So the last thing you need to do now, you've got your hoop on there. I quite like it with the bare wood. We always talk about this, don't you? This is so my vibe. But then adding the ribbon really does just set it off beautifully, doesn't it?
It does.
It really does.
Yeah. How do I have that ribbon? And do I have to put that at an even...
Yeah, so I was rushing. So, yeah, you'd put it all on... so you can either measure it out or line it up maybe with the floral on the pattern, which is what I quite like about the stripe.
You've done that. So, this one over here.
That one's
Let me
really
get this off the wall from over
cute.
here, because you've done that beautifully.
So that you can fold as much or as little as the basket as you want. You don't have to.
Let's take our stuffing out.
Get the stuffing out.
Because you've got enough to do 3. You can do them reverse like that. So you can have your tan
Yeah. There's no reason why you can't flip that.
And your polka dot on the outside, and then you get a beautiful layer of your ticking around there, which is uber pretty.
It's cute.
Loving that.
Super cute.
Oh!
What? Go on, what's your idea?
Else. No, I'm thinking about for nurseries. So you have your cotton wool, your your baby wipes, and another maybe little socks and things. So you've always got socks and little bits and bobs to hand. Yes.
Definitely, that's a great idea.
I think it would really pretty up a nursery.
Definitely.
Right, we need to attach this somehow. We're not going to sew that onto the wood, are we? No.
So you can use the glue that we've got today. So this is the high tack glue, so that can go on super quick. And then the only other thing as well is that you need to obviously ladder stitch your opening in your lining.
I'm going to give you the details for the glue very quickly. This is your fast tack glue here. It's very sticky, but it's what we call high tack. So it's got a fast grab, which means that as soon as you put it on and you pop that ribbon on, you're not gonna be waiting around holding it to take. It's got a very quick grab. So it's ideal. You can use it on paper, you can use it on wood. That's why I've used it. It's perfect for your trimmings and also for your household use.
It's a good all-rounder.
It is. Use it for your collages, your craft work as well. Yeah. And actually you can also use this to heat bond fabric as well.
I didn't know you could do that with that.
Yes, you can. So if it's used between 2 fabrics and ironed, the fast tack will produce a heat-sealed bond. And it dries clear and it's flexible.
Great stuff.
It is good to have in your stash, this. Just don't use it for something that's going to be washed or dry cleaned.
Right, well this isn't, so we're all good.
Yeah, because you're not going to put a wooden hoop through the wash, are you?
Nope.
Do you want to... what are we doing first? Do you want to sew first or
I think
glue?
let's sew first, and then we've done all of our bits and bobs out the way, and then have we got any... Can we glue on this mat? Is it allowed? Natasha said that.
Yes.
Natasha said that.
We'll find out.
Okay.
Hang on, how messy are you going to get? Because it's got quite a nice
I don't know,
precision
quite
nozzle.
messy. Quite messy. All right then.
Oh, we haven't opened this. Nice. Your glue there was, what did we say that was, $2.95 a bottle? Great. Getting in touch whilst we're sewing, get in touch on the website, go to watch live, there we are, watch live, and then scroll down, message the studio, and then underneath are all the items that we've got on the shows. Now, if you're sending in pictures, that needs to be done via email, which is studio@sewingquarter.com. Please, can you show us a ladder stitch?
Yes, of course.
Because that's what you're doing.
I've got plenty of fabric left over to do that with. Okay, so a ladder stitch is an invisible stitch joining two sections together.
Right.
Okay, so you can use a whip stitch if you want, but you will see the stitches that are being whipped over the two layers. Okay, so this is an invisible stitch. So I'm starting in the first crease there. So that's a single hem. So there's the single hem on that side, and then there's a single hem on the other side. I'm just basically bringing those together. So you can see I've got two folds, two channels that I'm going to be working into. Okay, so I can see I'm in this top layer first. This is where I am at the moment. I'm going to go parallel and into the other fold. I'm going to do this quite big so you can see what I'm doing. So you can see that I've run, if I separate that, I've run my needle into that fold, into that channel. Okay? So once you've done that one stitch, that's one. And you can see that it's straddled the gap, for lack of a better word. Okay? So I'm going to go and repeat that again. So again, I'm parallel, again going in and out of the fold to create another one. So you can see that if I was to pop that...
like the rungs of the ladder,
yes, if I was going to hold that up like that, this is the length of your ladder, and those are the runs. Okay, now those are really super big stitches, but I've done that on purpose so you can see what I'm doing, okay? So when I pull those stitches, you can see that they're invisible, you can't see them anymore.
Perfect.
That's your ladder stitch.
It's also called invisible stitch,
or
isn't
invisible
it?
stitch, yeah. Ladder stitch, invisible stitch. I like ladder because it's what it is.
Yeah, no, that's how I remind
Visually,
you.
I'm like, I know what you're talking about.
It reminds me how to do it. Yeah.
It's a good one, isn't it? But it's just one of those stitches that once you've learned how to do it, you're using it for everything.
Well, because this is how you close up bags, any linings, you close it up. The backs of your toys,
yeah.
You're going to do this is your go-to stitch. And once you've mastered this and it's easy to do, then actually all those projects become available for you to do because actually, yeah, you can do it. Because I like those little fabric hearts that you buy in nice home decor places.
Yes.
And I always look to see
where... stitch.
Yeah, and sometimes you really can't. They've been really beautifully sewn up.
Oh, see, I had the opposite the other day. Do you remember when we did the reversible jacket in the cloth kit?
Yes.
So I was popping down, getting some shopping the other day, and I'm not going to mention the shop, but there was pretty much an exactly the same jacket, again, double-sided, bound around the neck, exactly the same jacket, and it was so badly put together.
Oh no.
And I was just like, this is why you make your own clothes. The binding was horrific.
And then you know that it's perfectly
done,
isn't
absolutely.
It?
Not only would it fit you perfectly, but I was like, oh, jacket was way better than that.
But that's the joy, isn't it? You hone these skills.
Absolutely.
And then and start by a project like this, where it's a little bit to just ladder stitch together, and then it's perfectly doable. You get your confidence, and then you go on to bigger, better projects. Christine's messaged in. She says it's perfect for sewing and tidying up.
It is. It is perfect for that one. We're using.
Oh yeah, she says you can add some Velcro to it as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Marilyn wants to know how to tie it up. Okay, so we've had various ways today. Let me show you, because it is a very valid question, isn't it? So on this one here, which we had on the side, we've added just a little bow onto there, and again, that's just been tied.
It's the fastening.
Onto the fastening of the hoop. And so that then gives you a little hoop, and so you can put that onto a hook. You could put it onto a picture hook. It doesn't have to be.
But then you don't even have to do that. If you get like I said, the little metal hooks that you can screw in, you could just literally hook it onto the metal fastening of the.
In fact, that first photo that we saw, that had it on a butcher's hook in the kitchen.
Yeah. And for me, what I would do when you do your ribbon around your hoop, I wouldn't give it extra ribbon and then tie it off on that, because that's not going to be secure enough to hold the weight of whatever you're putting in there.
If you're going to really fill it.
Yeah. So I would definitely, whether you're doing it with a separate ribbon, so basically trim your hoop with the ribbon, done, then get some extra ribbon and then attach it to the fixing. Yeah. That's the strongest part.
That's what we've done. I mean, that's what we've done over here. If you have a look on here. And so that just goes through and ties off. So that's really easy to do then. And then you can tie it anywhere. So you could have that on a towel rail in your bathroom.
Yep.
And then you're not having to, because if you don't want to have to go through DIY to, you know, you can just then put that onto your towel rail in your bathroom and you can put your cosmetics in there. Job done.
Absolutely.
Job done.
Absolutely. Okay, so I've done my ladder stitch. That's all done, nice and tidy on the inside now. So at any point you could, you know, reverse these. So if you wanted to freshen up the look in the bathroom or wherever you're popping your baskets, you can just turn them inside out.
Yeah, because you're not gluing anything other than
the ribbon around the wood. So if you needed to, so if you are going to use it, like for me, what I thought about is having it the side of my bedside table, not bedside table, my dressing table, sorry, and having all my makeup in there, so it's just easy accessible. That, you know, it will get mucky, your makeup brushes or whatever. So you can just basically untie your hoop, take the fabric off, wash it.
Yes.
Put it back in again.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely
So it doesn't have to stay in these hoops forever. You can take the hoops off, wash them, and then put them back in. And these
pretty fabrics, again, if you're doing for nurseries, you could use them as toy tidies. You know, perfect like that. Now, who's messaged in? Julie's messaged in. Hello, Julie.
Hey.
She's made the toy bag. Oh, let me show you the toy bag for her grandson. Let me show you that one.
What page is
She says it opens up as a playmat for his cars.
Oh, you could applique a little road in there, couldn't you?
Yeah, it's really well thought out. It's just a lovely, lovely book full of different ideas for you. So tidy up your house, get organised, grab your beautiful material, and get going.
That one would be a good one for you, like you say, your little Freddie on trips. That one that the lady made.
You've got underbed storage, you've got all sorts
lots
in here.
In there. Lots and lots and lots. That's really nice, the little crochet hook one there.
I like the tidies. I love the toy tidy, the toy hammock as well.
Nice.
Oh, there's lots
of inspiration in there.
Yes.
Lots to keep you busy.
Under a tenner, £9.95, ALSP 89. Are we going to glue this?
If you want to glue it, I'm happy to glue.
Are we allowed to open this? Do we know?
Are we allowed? We're allowed to get the map. All right, you can do it.
I need to snip off the end.
It's all right.
I need to snip off the end. I'm grabbing our sewing quarter kit here.
Okay.
Because I'm just going to steal the scissors out.
Okay.
And just snip off the top.
Oh, I thought that comes undone.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, right, then I see.
You've got to snip off the top.
I thought it was a separate.
No. So when you get your glue, you've got your little knobbly top bit, and then you just want to take off just a tiny bit off the top. And you'll see that hasn't cut off, so a little bit more. And then you've got just these scissors are great, aren't they? Just a tiny, tiny, tiny hole. You can always snip off more, but you can't then. There you go.
Should we do that top section
Go on
first? So if I hold it, I've got the.
Let me put the glue down. How ham-fisted was that? Did you want it just to
No,
go
that's
to that
nice. Do that. See, I took my tail ends into the fixing, but that looks even more professional.
Well, you know, give it a go. Right, let's spin it around. Put some more glue on there. So your glue is £2.95. I love the fact that you can heat bond it with your fabrics as well.
That's clever. I didn't realise you could do that.
It always pays to have a good fabric glue, I think.
Well, there's so many.
I use this for applique as well.
Yes, that'd be a great idea for it, actually.
There we go. And because I only took just the very, very top off.
Got a nice, but it dries clear anyway if you do have any accidents, don't you? So it's all.
It does.
It's all good.
I find this bit quite satisfying.
Yeah, it's quite therapeutic, isn't it?
No, I like a bit of gluing. No, that's going to go to that bit.
Nice.
Snip. Oh, yeah.
Look at that professional finish.
Hey. There we go. Up to there.
Beautiful.
There we go. There we are. And just give that a minute or two to dry. That's all right. Absolute pleasure. But it is just giving it that little extra detail, isn't it? Devil's in the detail.
Devil is in the detail.
And
that's good job.
That's what it gives you, is that beautiful edging there.
Nice job.
Hey, teamwork, mate, I tell you. Lovely.
So yeah, you've got enough there to make your 3 baskets. You're away.
Nice. So whether you want to go for the blue, this is your blue option here with your spot, and that's the ribbon that comes with that. Or whether you want to go for the yellow, yeah, there you go. This is the whole kit. We've kitted it because there's nothing worse than wanting to do a project and not having what you need.
Not having everything you need.
So you've got your 3 hoops, you've got enough fabric there for 3 full hoop baskets, and you've also, because you've got ½ metre of each fabric, and then you've also got 5 metres of ribbon, so you've got ample.
Loads.
Yeah.
Loads left over.
I think these make great presents.
They do. I'm so with you on the Easter egg option. Yeah. As a gift, and then.
Well, this is the first year that Fred's going to be old enough for an Easter egg hunt. So you need something to put your Easter eggs in.
You
or if you're going around somebody's house, then it's a gift they can keep afterwards.
Yeah. Definitely. That's a really nice idea.
Do you think you could use it as a pot holder as well?
A pot holder?
Like a pot plant holder.
Oh, yeah. If you get some of that water-resistant goo.
Oh, yeah. I wonder when we get that back. Ooh. Look, there's lots of ways in which you can use these. Thank you ever so much for all of your options as well.
It's been
you've
nice.
Come up with and
nice having your inspiration.
See your photos as well from those of you that have already made it. And of course you can elongate it to keep all of your wrapping paper in.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
Well, I always find that I can find the wrapping but can never find the ribbon or the bows that go on top.
Oh, well, there you go. So you do one longer one to keep all your wrapping, and then one of these to keep all your bows and everything, all those other bits and bobs that go with it.
Absolutely. Great.
Sorted. Organised.
We are super organised today.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's got to be done. But the whole kit is there for you. GPGC08 24.95. This is your blue. This is your yellow. It's up to you which ones you want to choose. Ooh, which is your favourite?
I thought it was that one, but then I'm loving this one.
Yeah.
What do our audience like?
I think, is it the yellow still? Yellow is still favourite right now.
Yellow's favourite.
I like this one.
Yeah,
This is
it's
my
cool.
colour.
It's
no, it's ever so pretty. Ever so pretty. Now, Mrs.
Yes.
When are you back next?
I am back next week. I think this is on. You do this every time. I'm sure it's a Tuesday. I don't even know what day of the week it is.
What are you making? Do you know yet?
What am I making? We are getting so organised again. It's a awesome pattern. It's got so much in there. Honestly, it's the best pattern in the world, and there's just everything you need. Ever. And it's everything you could ever need for your sewing room, so it's going to be a really lovely one to do. I'm really excited about it.
It is one of those things, isn't it? I mean, if as soon as you have a hobby, you need to put stuff somewhere.
Storage is key.
Yeah, it is completely.
Hence why we're doing this.
and hence why there are books like this.
Absolutely.
And that's so useful. By Debbie Shaw. It's under £10. It's £9.95. It's got 23 different storage designs and ideas for you in there. So get out your favourite fabric, coordinate it with your sewing room, coordinate it with your bathroom, your kitchen, wherever it is that
wherever
you're
going.
But have a play and just enjoy. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
Talking of enjoying,
yes,
thank you very much. I've
Thank
enjoyed
you.
this muchly. I will see you then next week.
Yes.
On a Tuesday. You hanging around? Going to stay for a cup of tea?
I'll stay for a cup of tea. Why not?
Nice.
Okay.
We are doing next paper piecing. Ever done it?
With a difference?
Yeah.
I'll try to do a little bit of paper piecing.
Watch, because it's going to be great, and we will see you in a minute or two.
Follow us on Instagram. Search for our Sewing Quarter page and follow us to get our latest posts.
So I'm going to be showing you how to do an ease stitch. It's very similar to our running stitch here, but the purpose of it would be different. So I've kind of mocked the head of a sleeve here. 9 times out of 10 you will have to ease the top section of your sleeve. So this is the stitch that you would do that with if you were going to do it with hand. So I'm going to use the embroidery thread. I've just popped a knot on the end again just so it doesn't pull through. Normally you wouldn't do it with embroidery thread. So on your sleeve, normally these sections will need to be kept as they are because it's only this section here that we need to be working with. So I'm going to be doing a running stitch quite close to the edge of the fabric. I'm just going to do the quick method here where you're pulling the needle through the fabric while keeping it on the same needle. So So I'm going to stop there and then pull that all the way through, like so. So you can see that I've got just that section sewn there, and then as I begin to pull, you can see that I'm easing the head of my sleeve in. So when that is stitched, these curves should disappear, they shouldn't be there, because you've eased the bigger section into a smaller section on the clothing. So that's easing.
Here at the Sewing Quarter, we want to help you with your levels of sewing. Whether you're a novice or you've been sewing for years and years, we want this to be a fabulous learning curve for all of you. Whether it's making a little gift or making yourself a fabulous outfit, we will be working with some of the UK's biggest designers. You have to join us for that.
Don't forget, our sister brands are some of the leading brands in the industry, with Love Patchwork and Quilting being rated top modern quilt title on the market. Today's Quilter has achieved market leadership in the traditional quilt sector. And finally, Simply Sewing was launched in February 2015 after noticing a gap in the market for beginners. Combined, we reach over 150,000 readers every month.
Join us on Saturday the 8th of April when Mandy Shaw will be back to showcase her wonderful range of kits and projects. Mandy has pulled out all the stops to bring a brand new range of inspirational kits and her best-selling Stitch with Love book packed full of projects and guides. So join Mandy Shaw on Saturday the 8th of April at 8 a.m. and 10 a.m. only on Sewing Quarter, Freeview Channel 78.
Welcome back. Now, this hour we're bringing you some gorgeous fabrics in a bundle. We know you love a bundle. We know this, so we do this for you. We are the only channel that can bring you half-meter lengths that we cut ourselves, and also not only just bring you beautiful fabrics in terms of print and design, but also give you those plain fabrics that are going to really set these off. What we're looking at here is a bundle of 5 half-meter lengths, so 2.5 meters in total. We've given you 2 plains, and the rest are your beautiful Frou fabrics. Now, Frou is a Paris-based company, and what they specialise in is this beautiful lawn-based cloth. Now, a lawn cloth is very, very soft. These are printed in Japan. I love that we've got the ditzy florals on these. Just a very, very delicate design on a soft feel, delicate woven material we're getting here. Here we go, 5 lots of half meters. That's your half meter. And you can really start to see that fabric repeat, that design repeat in there. But it is just so pretty. If you're quilting, then it's absolutely perfect. You can fussy cut to your heart's content. But if you're using this for a bag or any of your crafty ideas, then it's just a very pretty, delicate, super soft. That's what really comes across with this Frou fabric. It is so soft to work with. A lightweight cotton, but that is very beautifully printed. And we've got 3 different prints. We've got 2 different bundle options for you. So let's have a look at this. You've got a kind of raspberry background with this. And then you've got this lovely smoky bluey grey in there. And then you know how we talked about having an ecru base in the earlier show? This is where your ecru comes. Chic feel to it, a little bit vintage feel to this as well. We have brought the frou-frou to air, I think just once before. John had them, so this is my first time that I've been allowed loose with your frou-frou, so to speak. So you're getting an awful lot of fabric, and that's what we're able to bring you. 2.5 meters of beautifully designed fabrics that really work beautifully together. And the way that we've done that is to give you 3 gorgeous prints from frou-frou, which is the Paris company. And again, all of these printed in Japan. And what you see here is that you've got those soft pinks that we saw in the previous fabric, but we're starting now to introduce some purples. And so as we go along, it's a slightly larger print there. Again, 1/2 meter of this. Let me show you this. I wish you could feel it because it's so soft. But this is a slightly larger print here. So what I'm told by our quilting experts is that what you want when you're making a quilt is to have a difference in size. If you're working with florals, it's nice to have a tiny ditzy, but it's also nice to have some mid-range and some larger ones. Now the next one within here is, here we go, let me show you. Oh, I've got to go and have a look at the next bundle. I wanted to show you all the different colours in here. We'll come back and have a look at it. So you also get your purple and then you get your plains in there. So let me show you the other bundle, because there you've got your reds and your purples, but here you're getting different colours of your purple spectrum here. And all of these florals working towards and how they just work together. So we're giving you a sort of a ditzy, and then we'll give you a larger print in the floral. You get 2 plains. You get it works so beautifully together. And of course, having the plains in there really make the others pop. So if I just swing that and pop that in there, then you can just see how that's going to work. Now, that's $32.95, VBGC 52. This is your bundle 2 option. Now, today, to take us through exactly how to use these with a bit of paper piecing, we've got Victoria back. Hello!
Hi, Natasha.
Victoria, how are you doing?
Hello.
Just skip across there. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Excellent. I'm very good. Now, you brought us, in our 9 o'clock hour, you brought us foundation paper piecing.
I did, and I will bring you foundation paper piecing all over again.
Hooray!
But using these fabulous prints.
Beautiful, aren't they?
They're lovely. Really nice.
They work, don't they? They absolutely work. Let me show you the finished quilt that we've got here. And again, you can just see the design there. Look at that. Look at that. So pretty. So those working, and then using the bolds. There you go.
Nice,
excellent. So this is what we're working with. But you've paper pieced these.
I've paper pieced these blocks.
But with a foundation.
With foundation paper piecing, which is
You're right. I know you've had a bit of a cough, haven't you? Bless you.
I've been coughing away, so I have a sweet in my mouth to try and stop me from coughing, so I'm really sorry.
No, that's all right. You do what you need to do. No.
So what I have today is doing some foundation paper piecing, but I'm going to show you how you could maybe draw your own to make this exact effect.
Okay.
But I've done here just a sample of the block, which is made up of 4 different sections.
Okay.
So each section is a triangle that I've put together to make that shape.
Perfect.
So shall I quickly show you how I've made those triangles?
Yes.
So the finished sections are going to look like this, which I've just put on here. This is what we're going to end up with.
Okay.
Which is a triangular shape here.
Let me just angle that for you. There we go.
That's what we'll end up drawing.
Okay.
And we'll use these as your foundation paper pieced sections, and we'll add 4 of those together in order to create our block. And then we join the blocks together to create.
Oh, hang on.
Design.
So that's how that block's come.
Yes.
Oh,
sneaky.
Nice. Okay.
So what I've started off by doing is drawing on a piece of paper, and I've done it on the printer just to make sure that it shows up nice and clearly on the television rather than with pencil.
Yeah.
So I've drawn a block the desired finished size. So I've done an 8x8 square, 8 inch by 8 inch square.
Yeah.
And I've drawn the diagonal lines and the central lines to split the shape into sections. But what we're going to do is we're just going to concentrate on one segment.
Right. I'm just going to write that down so we can get a good shot of this. What I like about this is this is very achievable. So everybody can draw a square.
Yes.
And everybody can go diagonally to diagonally and then half again. That is very achievable.
Yes.
So nothing scary there.
No, not at all. And you use your quilting ruler, draw your first line, and then use your quilting ruler, line up the lines to get your squares and diagonals.
Excellent.
But we're going to work just on one of these segments. And in order to replicate what I've done here, I have drawn a line. I've drawn 2 lines. You can draw straight lines if you like, and then the effect you'll get is more of a straight cross, more like the Red Cross. But I've gone slightly wider. So I've just drawn evenly 0.75 of an inch from the middle or apex of the triangle, 0.75 of an inch down from that midpoint to get these top ones here. And then the base I wanted a little bit wider, so I've done
got a bit of a flare.
1¼ inch, for a flare.
And of course, using your rulers, this is a great way in which to do it.
Yes, because when you're paper piecing, you want all your points to match up. So you wouldn't want one side to be 1¼ inch and one side to be 1/8 of an inch.
Okay.
So you'd want those to be even.
Now, what we've done is, let me show you these fabrics. We've given you fabric bundles. So we've given you 5 half meters. This is bundle 1. So you're getting 3 frou-frou patterns. This is a Paris-based company. They print their fabrics out in Japan. So it gives you, it's a lawn fabric. Now, that's also known as batiste.
And they're beautifully soft and lovely.
That's the thing of it, isn't it? Is that softness. That's the overwhelming first impression when you work with these fabrics, is just how gloriously soft they are. So if you're making a snuggle blanket or something like that, they are going to be super, super soft. Maybe a lap quilt or something like that.
Some matching pyjamas.
Oh, nice. But you're getting 5 half meter lengths. 3 are frou-frou, 2 are your solids. So if you want to do your quilting, then you've got that. Or maybe you want to make something and have your solids as the binding. It's entirely up to you. We've got 2 different options for you. This is your other colour option. So this is bundle 2, and this is all about those purples, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. So you can see there 3 different patterns and 2 of your solids in there. $32.95 for 2.5 meters with this super soft frou-frou fabric. Absolutely beautiful against the skin.
Really beautiful. Very nice.
Where do we go from here?
Okay, so I've drawn those lines 1¼ inch from the centre point on the base of the triangle, and these, which is 0.75 of an inch from the apex. And I've just drawn those lines. And that's it. You would then transfer, you'd cut this out and transfer that onto another piece of paper to end up with a triangle that looks like this.
Okay.
So you've just transferred those lines.
Yeah.
You then add 1/4 inch seam allowance around the whole of the outside of that shape.
Do you need to, or can you use your super duper ruler?
You wouldn't need to at this
ruler.
point. At this point, I would use a standard ruler because it is more stable and more flat. The added 1/4 ruler is better for when you're actually making the blocks.
Okay.
I would just use your standard.
It's knowing when to use the right tools, isn't it? And getting. That's why we have experts, because you know. And you can tell us. Okay, so add your 1/4 inch.
So then that is your pattern piece ready.
Right.
The next challenging part of the process is actually designing your quilt, is how you're going to put everything together. So I've got here how the structure of what this quilt looks like.
Okay.
And it's 3 blocks across by 4 blocks down. So that's the basic structure.
Excellent.
So from here, you can either go completely crazy and go completely random and put whichever fabrics you like wherever you like. And some people like that.
Yeah, but you can also colour code it, can't you? So you can you can lay your fabrics out and go, okay, I'm going to go with a solid colour in there, and one of my frou-frous there, and one of my frou-frous there. In fact, let me show you those fabrics because they are super cute. Christine's messaged in. Hello, Christine. She's asked what? Sorry. Does the frou-frou fabric feel like Liberty fabric? Yeah, it is that lawn fabric. It does have that feel to it. this one here. Let's have a look at this. This is bundle 2 for you. Let's have a look at how these are just going to work so beautifully together. I'm going to pull out this one here. This is the larger of the prints. There we go. Now, let me just lay that out there for you, because what I want you to see is when you start to work with, look at all of this, you get loads. You can really start to get an idea of how these colours work so well together. But what you've also got in here, you've got that larger print, but then you get that smaller print, but taking exactly those colours, but on a smaller scale. And of course, you've got your Macawa there. So now the Macawa fabrics that we've got in here, the plains that we've got in here are damson. What's the other one? We'll find out in just a moment. Damson and something else. Bear with us, Caller. We shall find out. There we go. Ooh. Forest fruit. And your damson. So your damson is the lighter one, your forest fruit is the darker one. But you can really see how these are going to work gorgeously together. So we've got through here. I love this one. Look, you've got, again, you've got that blue through there as well, and you've got two different purples which work so well there. And again, this is your frou-frou fabric, overwhelmingly soft, really beautiful. Maybe you want to make a baby quilt. These are timeless classics, aren't they? These ditzy florals. They are, they are never going to go out of fashion, so they are something that should be in everybody's stash. So whatever project it is that you're doing, these should be in your stash, because then you've got them to hand. You can just grab them anytime you like. And in a half-metre length, that is absolutely perfect. So you can see how these colours just all work together, and you are getting 2.5 metres here. So a huge amount to play with. Let me just rearrange these quickly, because I've got a little bit overexcited. So this is, let me show you, this is the bundle that we've just had a good old look through, $32.95. It is a lawn fabric, the frou-frou. That's also a batiste. Now, what that means is that it's a delicate design on a real soft feel fabric, which is just beautiful to work with. And do you know what, it gives a different... it's giving a different dimension to your work when you're working with something this soft. Now, you've got a Christmas red in here and a deep purple. This, let me show you this. This is a rich, deep red here. Now, the reason that this rich red is in there, and again, 0.5 metre of that, is because we've matched it. Again, you can see along here, you can see all the different colours that are listed on the selvage along here. So, and we've picked out the red. So all the colours are there, and that's how it's easy then to then mix in with your solids. So you see, we've picked out this colour here and matched it with that. So you've got a deep purple, you've got a Christmas red in there. Look at this. So 5 half-metre lengths, all for $32.95. 3 of your frou-frou, 2 of your solids. I just want to I've just had a thought. You know that 50 fat quarter make book that we had on this morning? I know these aren't fat quarters, I know these are more. This is double a fat quarter, this is 2 fat quarters in one length. But in there it had an infinity scarf.
Oh, they'd be lovely for that.
Oh, how gorgeous would that be? Because the drape of that is just, it's asking for something like that. And because then you do get, you can have, yeah, that's the one. And then you can have that as your scarf draping around. Beautiful. And because you've got the softness in this fabric, then this is absolutely perfect. So don't just think craft projects with this. It is super, super soft and really, really lovely. So this is why it's perfect for your quilting as well. So WDGC 72 32.95. Now, you've had a little play. You've decided how you want this design to be.
Yes, I've just thought I would just show everyone at home how the same block can create so many different variations depending on how you pull your prints together.
Yes.
And your fabrics. So I've got, you can see how the same block arrangement, depending on how you hold your fabrics, put your fabrics together, can look entirely different. You get entirely different effects, all from exactly the same base triangular pattern.
Gosh, it's so different, isn't it?
It's really effective.
And you're the designer. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
By having one triangular
with
piece.
only 3 sections, you can create so many different looks. And to be honest, those lines that I drew were 1 1/4 inch in from that central seam line, but actually you can change that and just do it a little bit wider. Do 1 1/2 or 2 inches, and that gives an entirely different look.
Yeah, doesn't it?
To your triangle.
Oh, decisions.
Yes.
Once we've decided how we want to do this,
Yes.
then this is our next step, isn't it, on our foundation paper piecing.
Yes.
So not English paper piecing, this is foundation paper piecing, where you use the paper as a stabiliser almost, isn't it?
Yes, you do. You stop the fabric from moving around by sewing it to the paper.
Okay.
So you can then plan with a blank version of your design, some colouring pencils, and just plan out how you're going to use the fabrics.
How easy was the frou-frou to quilt with?
Oh, lovely. Just absolutely goes through the machine. Absolutely fine. And it creates such a nice, lovely, soft, snuggly
nice. And
quilt.
actually, you could always use one of your planes as the backing for it, couldn't you?
I did. I actually used an accrue for the back.
Oh, okay.
Just for fun.
Excellent. How do we
so,
work with this?
Like I said before, this block is made up of 4 sections.
Okay.
You've drawn your design.
Yes.
And you've copied it. Stick it in the photocopier, whiz it through however many times you need to do. Now, in the first show, I had pre-cut pieces of fabric that were sort of the size of your piece with 1/4 inch all the way around. You don't when you get a little bit more confident in what you're doing, you don't have to spend the time chopping up lots of bits of fabric. You can work from a larger piece that you have available. So I'll just demonstrate that on here. Your first piece, I'm going for an accrue centre.
Right.
So I'm just going to apply some of the glue on the back, just a stripe of that is fine.
Now, if you're after the accrue, we had that on the 9 o'clock show. So when you go onto the website, it will be underneath the list of today's shopping list. It will be down there. Now, it is £3.25 per half a metre. We didn't put it in the fabric bundles. It does go with both fabric bundles absolutely beautifully, but you can see that works.
Yes.
What we've put in are the colours that are hard to match. So that's why we've given you those really vibrant colours. So if you want the accrue, it's down there. It's £3.25 per half a metre. Pop it in. It works with that frou-frou like we were showing you earlier.
Really nicely.
It does blend. And if I just show you this one here, which is one of the bundles that not one of the bundles, one of the blocks that we're making, you can see with the frou-frou how you've got that. It's not quite a cream. It's not a stark white. It's a kind of a shabby, chicy, stony, natural, antique-y, off-whitey colour. It's a crew.
Yeah.
Basically,
like the colour that calico would be, but a nice, a clean version of the calico.
Of it. And so you can see it absolutely works with the frou-frou, which is just a joy to work with, and it really highlights it. And like I say, within the bundles, we've given you the bright colours that are hard to match, but also maybe pop in another half metre of your accrue. Yeah, a neutral. So this is one of your bundles. Now we've got 2 block colours and 3 different designs. Normally we do it the other way. We'd give you 3 block colours and 2 of the fancy schmancy designs. We've frou-froued you up good and proper this morning.
Okay, so I've attached the foundation paper piecing block onto a fabric. If this fabric had a right side and a wrong side, you would apply it to the wrong side of the fabric. Your first piece, you apply the paper to the wrong side.
So we're not using frou-frou on this one, just the plain?
No, we're using the plain in the middle and we're using the frou-frou on the outside.
Okay.
So you take your piece of card, which I've left behind. So I've made a piece of card out of folding a piece of paper several times. Put that along the line and fold it back.
Okay.
Along there. Then you take your add a quarter ruler and you pop that along the side and just trim that seam allowance down to 1/4 of an inch.
Now this isn't a large sort of project here, so you can use a small cutting mat, but what's really important is your add a quarter plus ruler, and that's what we're premiering today on the shows. So if you've never done this kind of foundation paper piecing today, this is the kit that you need. This is kind of your essential thing. The key to it is this edge here. This across there is your 1/4 of an inch. So when you abut that to the paper, let me show you, like you've just seen in there, that abuts to your paper or your card.
And then the fabric extends.
Which then means, so the fabric then goes out and then you just cut along that edge there. And that gives you, that is your 1/4 of an inch there. That's what you're cutting against. A lovely wide side there to get your rotary cutter along and cut along there. We've got these as a 2-pack of rulers or just the single 6-inch if you wish, all on our website underneath the show. So the 2-pack, which gives you the 12-inch and the 6-inch, so then you've got it all, you're good to go. That is $24.95.
Lovely. They're good. They're brilliant for this.
They're good, yes.
So what you do now is that you've trimmed that to 1/4 of an inch. You can then rest that cut edge against a straight edge on your larger piece of fabric.
Now we've got the frou-frou in, we've got a pattern that has a right or a wrong side.
Yes, so now we're continuing on. Other than the very first piece in a section, everything goes up.
Okay.
So you've got the wrong side down and the right side facing up.
Okay.
Now I've used a large piece of fabric and I'm just going to pin in here.
Do you then just cut it down later?
We'll cut it down after we've sewn.
Okay.
And I've just made sure, and if I tilt up so that you can see, just made sure that this larger piece of fabric is completely on the underside of this top piece that I've folded back.
So you haven't got any gaps or anything?
That when it folds the other side, that it's going to be the right size.
That's kind of the joy of using that larger piece of fabric there, isn't it? Don't cut it away yet.
There is less room for error.
Okay, well,
but you need a bit more confidence as to what you're doing. But actually, I think by using larger pieces of fabric, you waste less.
Okay.
So now we're going to stitch along the line of between the first and the second section. We're going to sew all the way along, but we're going to use a short stitch length because the short stitch length allows us to remove the paper at a later date, because you don't really want to make a quilt full of paper.
Yeah,
you want to be able to take them out.
Do you forward and back to just to hold that stitch to start off with, or do you not need to because it's so small?
Yeah, some machines will have a locking stitch, or you can do a forward and back. There's 2 schools of thought as to whether you would do that or not. Some people like to go forward and back. Other people don't like to because it adds that tiny little extra bit of bulk.
Oh, okay.
On a block like this one, where it's quite big, it's not so bad. But when you're doing really tiny, intricate pieces, to add the extra bulk doesn't always work.
Okay, but because you've done a small stitch, it's more likely to hold really well anyway. Okay, we're learning. Now, the fabric, of course, is what makes this. You know, once you've got this design, you really want a fabric to bring this to life, and that's what we've done for you today. So let me show you that. Once you have a little stitch.
Machine's gone funny.
Oh, there we go. While you have a little stitch over there, I'm going to show you these fabrics because we've got 2 different kits for you. I'm going to go with the red one here. This is what we've done for you. On the earlier show, we had the ecru, which is the neutral, which you'll see Victoria working with. We didn't put that in this bundle for 2 reasons. Firstly, we wanted to do the hard part, which is the colour matching for you. So we've colour matched. We've found that perfect purple there, which is going to work with this. We've found that vibrant red, which is picked out in this fabric here. And that's what we've done for you. And then you can add in your neutrals, whichever way you want. But we've done the hard stuff of picking those purples and those reds out. And as you can see, it really does lift these fabrics and it gives you that difference. Whether you just use these to bind and edge and have the these, I think this is my favourite one. I think out of all of it. Am I allowed a favourite one? Oh, yeah. I just want to show you that because it's just gorgeous. Delicate designs, delicate fabric, so soft in this cotton. These are printed in Japan, but they are a Paris-based company. This is a lawn fabric, otherwise known as a batiste fabric. It's soft feel. And it is just a joy to work with. Half a metre of that, half a metre of each of these 5 fabrics. So that's $32.95 to get all 5 that you see here. You can see the drape on these. Because they're so soft, they're draping beautifully. And again, like I said earlier, if you've got things like infinity scarves and things like that to make, don't just think about your patchwork with this. Because these drape so beautifully, then you can work and you can make those beautiful scarves because you've got that drape, because you've got that softness of the fabric. It's going to work beautifully. $32.95, WDGC 72. That's one bundle, but we've done you a second bundle. And this one, it's all about the different tones of purple in this one. So you've got your larger print here, but you can see with your smaller ditzy. If I just show you this here, you can see that this is sort of a smaller version of this one here. So what I've gleaned from our quilting experts is that this is what you want when you're patchwork making, is you want the difference in print size as well as having your contrasting bolder colours through there. So that's why we've put that in for you. But then we've also, these have got a cream base to them, that sort of ecru-y cream neutral base. But then we've also thrown in with you a lawn fabric that's kind of the other way around, reversed if you will. So instead, you've got the purple background and then the flowers are actually that natural tone. So it just gives you that contrast. And we know how popular our fabric bundles are. So please do check out your baskets because these are always so popular when we bring them to wear. Because you're getting a half a metre of each. This is one to have in your stash when you see various different projects that we bring to air. And let's face it, we bring you 4 different projects generally a day. Then you've got it in your stash to go, yes, I want to make that. I want to make it now. I don't want to wait for my fabric to arrive. Have it in your stash, have it good to go. So then when you buy the different books, when you have a new quilting pattern that you want to work with, you've got it there ready to go. There's none of this having to wait, hate having to wait. So $32.95, VBGC 52 gets you this beautiful bundle with your purples. Lovely. Now, Victoria, we've just started with this, haven't we?
Yes,
so
we have. So
we've done the pattern and the plain, sewn them together along that line.
We've sewn them together. Now I've just brought everything over to the ironing station and turned it back against where you've stitched. And you can finger press, but I think a better result is to iron. So just got the iron just to press along that seam.
Now the Clover Mini iron we had on an earlier show, so you can always get hold of that. It just means $49.95. It does have interchangeable heads that you can buy separately. So whatever kind of crafting and sewing that you do, you can get the perfect attachment for it. It's a really handy little piece of kit, and it just saves you getting the big old iron out.
It does.
It's very handy to have.
Because paper piecing is so many repeated actions. It's easier if you can have everything to hand and not take up loads of space. So you can see here by using the larger piece of fabric, I've ensured that it definitely
so you've folded it back on itself.
Folded it back on itself.
So you've got your seam that's running through there. You've stitched along that line there.
Yes.
Folded it back. And do we cut
now? We're going to cut the excess away at this point.
And this is where you would use a normal quilting ruler.
Yes, or you can use the reverse of the add a quarter ruler if you like. I was going to say something really useful. Oh, yes, I'm talking about... I've got the A4 cutting mat out because I like to use a smaller mat whilst I'm doing paper piecing because I find... Because there are so many repeated actions, you're cutting an awful lot. And personally, I end up cutting in the same spot all the time.
Oh, okay.
So whilst cutting mats are self-healing, they can only deal with so much. And paper piecing, if you're doing in the same place all the time, it's not that good for your mat. So I like to use a smaller mat that I can move around.
Okay,
more
so
easily.
it's,
So you're manipulating the fabric a bit less, and you're not cutting on your main mat over and over in the same spot.
Sandra's asked what make is the fabric that we're using. We've got 2 different fabrics for you. So within the bundle, the printed design is Frou Frou, which is a Paris-based company, printed in Japan, but it's a Frou Frou. It's from the Fleury range.
Sounds like fairy.
Yeah,
Fleury.
Fleury. Sounds like a wine. You get a flurry of wine, don't you? Yeah. But then the solid spectrum colours are from our solid spectrum range, which is from Macau. So again, 100% cotton in there that we know has got a great rich colour to it, and that's why I've popped it in. Sylvia's messaged as well. Sylvia, just give us a ring on our free phone UK number 0800 112 4433.
Okay.
What's next?
So we're doing the final section of the triangle. Again, stick your piece of card or niftily folded up piece of A4 paper, and fold it back against that line.
Okay.
Nice and straight. You can do it without the card, but I find it's less precise. Your margin.
What would happen? Could you use the narrow edge of your ruler to fold back against? Because you've got.
Yes, you could. Because it's tapered, you could fold against that. And
That would
take
work,
it out.
wouldn't it?
The only thing I quite like is having the card, because you fold against it, you leave the card in place, and then that butts up against the card.
Oh, okay.
So I prefer to do it that way, but you certainly could, because it's tapered on this side, you can fold against that.
Okay. Good.
Up to you. It's about finding your own rhythm.
Finding your own groove.
Yes. So now you've got your piece of fabric, and now you can go and say, okay, where can that fit in, to make sure that the fabric
hang
underneath...
on, because that needs to...
But we're doing
but
the right
it's-
side. That's where foundation paper piecing...
You've got to get your head in gear.
Got to get your head in gear.
So, yes, that's...
So when that's folded back...
Yes, because you're doing the seam, and you fold the seam
sew
back.
it together, and then that will flip out the other way.
You've got to get your right head on.
And triangles are the most complicated to work out in your head, which is why I find it hard to pre-cut the size of the fabric first.
Don't do that, no.
There's one the very first pattern I did, there was one triangle I swear I did 6 times before I got it right, because I just kept getting the angles wrong, because I was cutting out shapes first, whereas when you cut from a larger piece...
Well, let's face it, you've got plenty, because you're getting a ½ metre of each of the fabric, so you've got loads to play with, haven't you?
Yes.
So what size was the quilt that you made?
I'm going to tell you in inches, because I did 8-inch blocks.
Okay.
So I did 3 across, so that's 24 across, and 32 down.
inches down. Okay, so that's a lap cloth, quilt, isn't it?
Yeah, or a little crib. They call them crib size. Whether you actually use them in a crib or not,
entirely up to you. You might not have a crib.
Not something I ever did, because I just didn't. But
some would just kick it off.
I think it's a term for a size.
Rather than actual use. You see, for me, you say crib size, I say cat size.
Cat size. Any size is cat size, to be honest. No matter how large, no matter how small.
They get everywhere, my cats.
We lost a cat for 2 days once, and we found her in the airing cupboard.
Really?
We were out in the streets, we'd made signs, done the whole lot. So here I've just done the short stitch length again, and I've sewn against that line. So we're going to repeat exactly what we did before. Turn it over to the right side,
and iron,
push back, iron, and trim.
And you really start to see how that comes together.
How it comes together.
I like that you've got the paper in there stabilising. This works for me.
Yeah.
If nothing else, apart from the fact that when I press, I end up ironing and distort. So this is perfect for me.
Out of place.
Yeah, no, I do. But this is
so
this
easy
works.
to do. So easy to iron rather than press.
Yeah.
It's just habit, and it's so easy to do. So
yeah, would you have to be like someone that irons regularly for it to be happy? I'm not great at ironing at any time. My family have laughed so hard at the amount of ironing that I have to do here, because they know the truth of the ironing situation.
Oh, very mean.
Okay.
So now you trim again, and we'll use the long one.
Do you know, it's even pretty on the wrong side, isn't it? Could that be a thing?
I've done that before.
Have you? So that you use it bold and then...
My husband's even bought a very expensive shirt once, and he brought it home, and I said, "You do know they've used the fabric inside out."
Really?
Yeah,
Did he wear it?
It was a deliberate thing.
Okay.
You just thought, spend all that money and they've used the fabric inside out. Somehow that was counterintuitive to me. But there you go.
But you can with this fabric because of the quality of the dye, because of how it's been dyed, and it's that the print is done in Japan. When I think of Japan, I think of intricacy, I think of the quality, I think of a country that really understand about inks and their fabrics, and that's what you're getting with these beautiful, beautiful designs. And given that we've bundled it, if you've never worked with frou-frou before, then you've got a great starting point, and you've got those real bold spectrum solids to go with it. So we've got them, and then this is what we're making at the moment. And so you can just see the delicacy of the frou-frou, and that's what this is about. This is called a lawn fabric. Batiste fabric is what it is. Is that in America that it's known as batiste?
Sounds French. Sounds more French, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But we don't tend to... We'll say lawn frequently.
Yeah. But it's one of these things, isn't it? It's like wadding and batting.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Same
Batiste
thing.
and lawn, same thing. Basically, it's a very soft feel fabric, and in this case, with a very delicate, beautiful print.
It's like the difference between denim and a chambray wash denim. It's got that soft fluidity to it. Because quilting cottons can be quite stiff sometimes, can't they? So this has got more fluidity to it.
Yeah.
So on here, where you're joining together the sections, the points that you want to match, as close as you can, are these corner points here and here.
Okay.
So I've just, on the pattern, I've stuck a pin through those junction points, and I'll do exactly the same thing on the next one. I'll just stick it through and make sure that it's poking out just between, I don't know if you can see that terribly well, stuck a pin that comes out exactly at that junction between the two fabrics.
And so you're using your paper on the back as your marker, so you know exactly where to poke that pin through.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, and I've done the wrong side, so I just need to do... Where are we? I'm going to join that one and that one. Got carried away. So I've got the two pins because we're going to join them together to make a larger triangle.
So that's how
just
it's
going
coming.
to slide.
Can I just show that again? So this is how we're getting to. We're going to get to that bit.
This here. So we're going to join right sides together, but we want these points to match. So I'm going to take that pin out, and I can just see where I've left the little hole.
Yes.
And pop the other pin in.
Oh, perfect. And that's your perfect match. And then which bit do you sew?
So we're then going to sew along this line here.
Okay.
So if I now neaten those
So you're
up,
not having... That one pin obviously holds it.
that just positions it in the right place.
But then it's...
And then you can use your sewing
Wonder
clips.
Yeah.
Or pins. Pins aren't too bad on this design because it's big. I think on smaller pieces, you've got to be careful how you pin.
Now, you've chosen with your design to use the same fabric for both sides. So this is... that's two.
On this one, yes, I have. But on...
But you could... I mean, you've got... Within your bundles, you've got three different fabrics,
well, on
haven't
here,
you?
on these ones, I've sewn... So this is one block here, and I've put contrasting prints in each of the corners to give you... So that is effectively this block here. Oh, wrong way. This block here is the same as the sample that we have here. But
It's pretty,
here
isn't
I've
it?
matched and here I've not matched.
Oh, I just think the delicate florals here are super, super pretty. Now, what we've done is we've bundled them. We know that you like a bundle. It's a ½ metre, so you're getting a huge amount of fabric, a ½ metre of each. We've given you 3 of the frou-frou, that's the pattern design, 3 of the frou-frous and 2 solids in each. So this is one of the options for you. If you want this option, then your code for it is WDGC72, £32.95. 95p. Now you'll see that Victoria has also used the ecru. That is on the website. It's underneath where the show is on the website, and it's there. It's £3.25 per half a metre. So if you want to pop that in your basket as well, then you've got a neutral to use with these as well. What we've done is put in the vivid colours that are really hard for you to match on the website. So that's why we've put those bold colours in there for you, so that you can use it as your binding. Or it does exactly that. We've got 2 bundles for you. So that was one. This is the other one. This is all about your purples. So you get your damson and you get your, was it forest fruits? I think you said black forest. Yeah, no, I was thinking about the cake. 32.95, 5 half meters in there. Now, normally we do it the other way around. We'll give you 3 solids and 2 of the prints. We've spoiled you a little bit here. We're treating you a bit. We're giving you 3 of the gorgeous fabrics and your 2 solids, which whoosh, woof, lift. Well, you see, then you can use your solid as your lining, and then you're not using your super special fabric.
No, don't waste
if you don't want to.
No.
You know, I'm thinking bags and things like that. You know, you don't necessarily want
the good stuff on the inside.
Yeah.
So we have here those 2 small triangles together to make the larger triangle, and you can see here how the points meet nicely in the middle.
Yes.
So we've made 2 of those. We've done 4 blocks. Here's another one I made earlier.
Yep.
And then you join those together.
Okay.
So you lay those right sides together, match up the middle. Now, if you're sensible, you will place these on the ironing board in the same orientation and press the seams in the same direction.
Right.
So that when you come to flip this one round, the seams going in opposite directions, and you can nest the seams. Have you talked about nesting seams before?
Don't they? Yeah.
They'll interlock on each other. Then they're less bulky. So you can put those on top of each other. And again, you use that trick with the pins to mark on here, to put those through to make sure that your cross matches up nicely. The one thing that you've got to think about, though, is when you will then sew along this line. As you do so, you will just accidentally trap paper on the inside here.
Okay.
So what I like to do at this point is just remove a little bit of that paper.
Okay.
Because removing the papers at the end is a bit of a job.
I think that's a satisfying bit. It's like when you get a new phone or something like that and they've got the plastic on the screen and you just have to rip it off. That to me is the same. It's like, oh yeah,
rip them out. Nice. So you can see here, I've just taken out a little corner that's on the underside. Now you've got to remember you're sewing 2 together, so you can do the other side as well.
Oh yes, of course.
Because I've done that plenty of times when you go, I've only taken out one side. So think about that when you're joining bits together.
Okay. You'll soon get into the rhythm of this though.
You really do. And I personally wouldn't do 1 block at a time. I would do 20 triangles at a time.
Really?
And then set myself up and do
so
as many as you can at one time.
Yeah. Well, then you do. There's less margin for error, isn't there? Because if you're repeating the same action, you just get into that groove of doing and doing
over and over.
And then, like a conveyor belt.
And it is a more efficient way to work if you can reduce the number of different things that you do into as few actions as possible.
So here comes the pin.
So I've put the pin through that join here. Put the pin through here and just have a look on the other side and make sure that it's come out at exactly the opposite side.
Which it has, perfect.
Place, which it has.
And that's the nice thing, because you've got that paper, you've got that reference point, which makes it super easy. Now, we're doing your foundation paper piecing here, but this fabric lends itself to quilting. I think just in the fact that it's so soft, it truly is an absolute joy to work with. But it just feels so lovely. It's got to be something. I'm going to leave you for a moment to sew, because I want you to really get an idea with these fabrics of just how soft the drape is. If I just, there we go. Look at that. It is ridiculously soft. The print is incredibly detailed, incredibly delicate, and that is why it's a lawn fabric. This is frou-frou from Paris. Goodness, I mean, if the Parisians don't know their style, then who does? Here we go, absolutely gorgeous. But printed in Japan, where, you know, they know how to print. It's the best of everything, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. From a company called Frou-Frou. So you've got that delicate design, that soft feel. It's very desirable, this. Very beautiful. And of course, we've matched it with your solids. But let me show you. This is the larger print within. So we've tried to give you a variety. So 2 solids, but then also a variety in terms of the size of the print as well. I realise that, you know, it's not easy necessarily to always get an idea of the scale of the print. But you see, look, you've got your larger designs here. Now, this is reversed. So you've got your natural tones as your base, whereas on this one, you've got that beautiful raspberry as your base. But this has got that stronger red coming through. And it's this red that we've picked out to have as your solid within the bundle. But let me bring you in the third frou-frou. And this is where that other purple comes through. So again, if you are quilting with these, you've got 3 contrasting, beautiful florals. Now, this is the same design as the raspberry, but it's in that lovely deep purple. And the designs are exquisite. The print detail on here, being the ditzy, is just sublime. I mean, just look at the detail on that. How close can we get? I don't know. There. Look. Even the detailing on the leaf, to give that leaf some relief, to give it some detailing. Look through here. It just is absolutely gorgeous. You've got petal detailing on here, and that is what you're getting when you get such a beautiful print. That's what you're paying for here, is that quality of print, which really shows through. So for this bundle, $32.95, WDGC 72, but that's just one of our bundle options. Over here, again, 5 of your half-metre bundles. We know that you love a half-metre. I know that you love your fat quarters, but sometimes you need that bit extra, and that means a half-metre. 2 fat quarters, a half-metre. So we've got 5 here. So that means 3 of your frou-frou, 2 of your solids. So that's 2.5 metres in total here. $32.95. Normally we give you 3 of the solids and only 2 of the designer. We've switched it, and we've given you 3 designer, 2 solids. What it means is that we can give you a variety within the pretty prints that we're giving you, the frou-frou prints. So it means that we can give you one on a natural base. It means that we can then give you that contrast with having that purple base coming through there. But then you see the other one that we bring in here means that this fabric here is a smaller take on the larger print. So you know that those go, and then you've got that contrast of having that base as a purple there. To top it all off then, we then add in these 2 solids, and the whole thing works. $32.95, VBGC 52. Victoria, what have you been doing while I've been loving that fabric?
I've sewn across that line.
Okay.
And a good thing to note is that if you're worried about joining sections, increase your stitch length. To just test it out, you can do a nice long stitch, maybe a 4 or a 5, and then you can open it and go, oh yes, or
happy.
No.
Unpick.
And if you're not happy, unpicking a stitch length of 4 is remarkably quicker than a stitch length of 1 or less.
It's true.
So
it's true.
That's the aim. The other problem is that when you've done your short stitch, because you've done a short stitch deliberately so that you can pull the papers away.
Yes.
If you've done that short stitch and you've got it wrong, you've had to unpick, that paper's not quite so stable as it was.
Yeah.
You can pull away. So that's a bit of a pain. So if ever you're not sure, do a long stitch length.
Okay.
So I've sewn all the way along
Top
that line.
tips, Victoria.
Top tips.
Top tips.
And then I've just opened it out and given it a press, and you can see how you've got the middle of the cross nicely matched up, and each of the 4 corners.
So could you
super
then
neat. And then you repeat ad infinitum as to whatever size you've decided that you want your quilt to be.
And so
and then you add those to together in exactly the same way as that you've added your sections together. So you measure up, match up those sides and sew down this seam. Again, remember those little bits of paper on the underside here and on the other side. Take these bits out and then you sew those together with a 1/4 inch seam allowance and slowly build up your quilt top.
It's so pretty, isn't it?
It's really, really nice, and I like the way that using the same prints in different ways gives you different effects. You see how light and fresh that is with the white based, and how much more rich that is with the darker purples.
But then you see, let's show, this is where we started with this. So you've got the contrast again with those bold
with the
solids.
Red. These are fabulous. The red really nicely picks out the red colours in the lighter print.
That's the detailing, isn't it, in the florals, is that deep red. And so that's what it highlights. It is funny, isn't it, by putting a different colour, different solid, it pulls different colours out. Have a play. That's what I would say to you. Get these home, have a play, and you can be making gorgeous creations. The fabric is very, very soft. It's very delicate. It's very lovely to use. Now, you see, I would have looked at that lawn and thought blouses, things like that to make. But I'm so pleased that you've used this with quilting. Firstly, because it shows it absolutely, because that weave is so good.
Yes, it's not an open weave at all. Despite being really light and delicate, it's still nicely tightly woven.
That would have been my instant thought, is that, oh, the weave must be loose, but it isn't. And you know that the weave is tight because of the delicacy of the design on the print. You couldn't get that detail on something that was a loose weave. So what it means is that it's a very fine cotton, but beautifully woven together, which is what gives it that softness, which is what gives it that drape. Now, the other thing that we've been asked about today, you're very eagle-eyed at home, so let me give you the details on the creative grids. It's all about the tools for the job. Now, we spoke earlier about the add an inch being perfect if you're doing your foundation paper piecing, but this, if you are quilting, it has got to be a go-to must. So this here, well, that's not your 16.5 inch.
That one's the smaller one.
That's the small one. Where's the big one?
I don't have a bigger one.
Oh, so we do one like this, but super, super big.
Well, I guess if that's 8 inch, it would be this big.
Yeah, it's going to be double. It's going to be double the size. But basically, let me just talk you through some of the design features with creative grids here. So with the creative grids, the way that it works is that you get your inches on one side and then your 1.5 inches on there. We stock a full range of your creative grids rulers, so please do look on the website because we've got so many on there for you. They've got that built-in grip. Absolutely brilliant. Now, what we've used them with today has been the beautiful fabrics here. And this is your fabric bundle with your gorgeous frou-frou patterns. They are delicate, very delicate ditzy prints here. But we've teamed them with those bold solids because we can. We can do that for you. And so we do. You can find your neutrals to go with it, but we've done the hard work of matching those vivid colours for you. So $32.95 gets you 3 delicate frou-frou patterns, soft lawn fabric, absolutely gorgeous. And then we've mixed it in with 2 solids so that you've got the confidence to really work with that. What was your favourite thing about working with this fabric?
I actually surprised myself. I'm not much of a ditzy, florally kind of person, but actually the more I worked with them, the more I thought, these are really lovely. And the children really love them as well. I've got a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and they said when they saw this, oh, can we sleep under that tonight, Mummy? And I said, no, you can't.
It's for a show.
Get away from it. But I was so surprised at how nicely they all came together, and I really love it. I'm an absolute convert.
I love to hear that because all of our designers have different styles, different fabrics that they, you know, Jenniffer Taylor likes her mustards and her retro designs. And like you say, this isn't normally your style, but
I'm more
actually
geometric, bright, bold colours. But this, just
it's won you over.
Really has.
Yeah, and so you can grab it today and get designing whatever quilt that you're after making, but don't just think quilts, of course. Also think all of those designs where you just want that fresh floral feel to it, then you're good to go. $32.95, VBGC 52. And then the other bundle down here, if you're in any way confused, call our number 0800 112 4433. So let me give you the other fabric bundle, which is WDGC 72. So if you say you want the one with the red, then they'll know if you phone up. But if you look on the website, it's really easy. There you go. That's our other bundle there. Look on the website. The pictures go with it, and it's all under the shopping list under where you've been watching the show live. So WDGC 72.
Easier read than said.
Yes, absolutely. Is there? That's the one with the red. Victoria, thank you so much. You've brought us something entirely new to the channel that we've never shown before. So that's it. We can tick foundation, paper piecing. We've scratched the surface. I feel there's a lot more to it.
And there is so much you can do with foundation paper piecing.
It's the same with all these things, isn't there? There's so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Again, 4 hours just flown by. Thank you at home very much for watching. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day. I will be back again in the morning with all sorts of goodies coming your way. So do join us then. Thank you ever so much for your company today. And thank you so much for all of your emails. We do appreciate it. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Sewing Quarter is at the very heart of sewing as we bring you all things sewing and quilting. The team behind us live and breathe sewing day to day. We strive to bring you exclusive offers, exciting live demonstrations, and most importantly, we will custom cut fabric to your specification in our very own cutting room. We will also be bringing you TV exclusives that you won't be able to find anywhere else. So come and join us today at the Sewing Quarter.
Welcome to the Sewing Quarter!